Good evening, good morning, and afternoon, everywhere on every channel in every time zone. This is Toast to Toast AM with your host, Paul from Paulogia. And as always, my lovely and talented, multi talented co host, whom hopefully everyone can hear both of us, it's Dave.
Hello, everybody. How's it going? Wonderful to be here. This is already off.
I had
Yes.
to I had to mute you during the intro
Yeah,
because it was being
I
very
forgot.
noisy.
I totally started. I left. I had the window open so I could have the chat, and
Oh, I see.
forgot to pop out the chat. But now I have. Now we're
And
good
that
because
sounded like you
we're
had a drum solo over there. So
professional.
anyway, welcome everyone to Toast to
Everything's
Toast,
fine. We're good.
where we celebrate being hanging out together. We celebrate toasting each other
Yes.
when the time is right. This is
Well, we better
my
kick one off with one, right?
right, and so everyone knows this one in the lovely Toast to Toast tumbler is my everyday rum, and in the mug. Thank you
Yes.
to our sponsors. One of our sponsors, not today's sponsor, but one of our sponsors, Mugs.
Mm-hmm.
This is the fancy rum. So cheers to you, Dave, and
Cheers to you, Paul,
and
and
cheers to
cheers to
everyone
you,
in the chat.
everyone in chat.
We have a multi-modal stream going on today.
Yes.
We have both the Art Bell Alien in the Freezer Spectacular, which we will get to in a moment, but we
Mm-hmm.
also have it's trivia night.
Yes.
We've taken a few shows off from trivia.
Mm-hmm.
Once we get to it, hold on. We'll get to that in all due time. But the winner of tonight's trivia will receive a toast to toast tumbler, just like this one,
Gratis. Free
sent
of
to
charge.
sent to whatever address you are comfortable telling me to send it to.
That where else are you going to get a deal like that?
Ah,
Oh,
that's right.
nowhere.
Just for answering questions.
Just answering some questions.
All right. So, should we start with our sponsor?
Absolutely, Paul. We got a sponsor tonight. Let me.
And no, appreciate. So a couple things we do need to, as you can imagine, a show of this caliber
Yes,
and clear production excellence, dare we
I
say,
would say that's how I would describe it. Yes. Yeah.
requires a non-nominal budget.
No.
We this is you get what you know what you're seeing. We we squeeze out of every nickel. We squeeze the most production value out of it, but we need those nickels. So we
Yeah,
appreciate the super chats.
we
That's always
absolutely do.
that's
We
always means a lot to us. But also, we have a sponsor. We don't need to have a sponsor. We are blessed, like Mugs,
Although
like I was
speaking of
showing you.
super chats, I see one,
Oh,
but
we'll get back to that. Once
okay.
it's all right.
I think your fancy new trick
We'll
isn't
we'll we'll
working.
see what's happening. Yep.
Well, while Paul's working on that, Paul, I'm not one to brag, not one to call attention to my many successes, not one to blow my own horn, so to speak. But this week, I've got to give myself a little kudos. Through weeks of tireless effort, gumption, and a lucky meeting behind a bowling alley, I have managed to secure a sponsor tonight that I think will not only be a tremendous boon to the finances of the show, perhaps increasing production value and making this even better, it will potentially bring a tremendous quality of life increase for the good people watching this show and for one of the hosts in particular. But Paul, I'm getting ahead of myself here. Let me paint you a picture. It's date night. You've scheduled an evening to spend with your dearly beloved significant other, and to start the evening off right, you've made a reservation at your favorite restaurant for a delicious supper paired with a perfect wine coupled with dazzling conversation. Your heart flutters just thinking about it. But what do you wear? This is a special occasion with a special person, and you want to dress up a little. Stand out from the crowd. Make like a peacock and strut, Paul. But how? How? Paul, it's so easy. Just use a color. With color, you can take your normal wardrobe and go from monochrome to getting it on. Vibrant violets, ravishing reds, bold purples. All of these and more will be at your fingertips. By adding color to any piece of clothing, you instantly draw the eye and stand out from the crowd. And it's not just clothing, Paul. No. Take your interior design to a whole new level. Guests will be wowed when they see the walls of your home decorated with color. Your family will be wowed by the vibrant hues and incredible tones you add to your life. Now I know what you're thinking. Black shirts and dark rooms have served me well my whole life. I don't need some Technicolor dream coat to impress people. They like me for me. First of all, good for you. Self-confidence is a wonderful trait and I endorse it completely. Secondly, friends are all well and fine, but if you want random strangers on the internet to like you, and let's be honest, you have a TikTok, so that means you do want random strangers on the internet to like you, Paul. If that's not the pleading cry of someone desperate for attention, I don't know what it is. So grab some social media followers, turn heads and cause accidents, wear bright splashes of color today. Maybe, I'm thinking like a yellow. Safety vest is probably a little too high, but just, hear me out. Try it. You'll be amazed by what you get. I stand by it. Color. I now realize the irony that I'm talking about color and I'm wearing the least colorful clothing that I own. There is not a single dab of it anywhere.
Apparently, color, didn't send you over any merch.
Mm-mm. It got holed up in the mail. Yeah.
Color, huh?
Yep.
And they've seen the show?
I mean, I briefly outlined it. Yes. Yep.
I see. Well, welcome to our friends at Color.
I mean, hopefully they're not watching. But if they are, they're about to be entertained as hell because we got trivia tonight.
We sure do. We sure do have trivia. But first, we have a super chat. Uh-oh. Are you getting a sound glitch, or is that just me?
I didn't hear anything.
Oh, good. Okay, so it's just apparently my earphones have gone crazy.
Oh dear.
So, oh,
there we go. Now we're getting the facts.
So, thank you. First of all, we have to go back to. So apparently this isn't triggered by the member super chats. Shannon wanted to break in the fax machine.
Well, then she should have spent a single $1.
But that didn't happen. Apparently, But we got a super chat. We got it. That one's from Skeptics and what? Who? Technically, black is all the colors put together. Paul literally can't have more color in his wardrobe. See? Perfect.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. You're not fooling anybody there.
Love it. All right. Okay, so something's working. Maybe. We'll see.
I hope people appreciate the efforts we go to entertain them.
I feel like we are mainly here to entertain ourselves.
Yeah, well, you're not wrong.
So, yes, thank you, everyone, and welcome to our stream. Should we? I think we should get. Do you want to do the trivia question number one?
Let's
first?
do one trivia question, and then we'll get into the.
Before we get into the recap of where we are in the Alien in the Freezer saga.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me start the timer on the question. I've lost my tab here. All right.
I mean, if we got a minute 18 to wait.
Yeah, no, you should explain the game.
So here's how it's going to work. Multiple choice. Question comes up with 4 answers. 1, 2, 3, 4. All you have to do is type into chat the number of the correct answer. Just the number, nothing else. So if the answer is 2, just type a 2. And the fancy hypercomputer global net that we have back ending this show will tabulate all of the correct answers and keep a running total throughout the night. The tiebreaker is how quickly you answer questions. So it is important to try to answer questions as quickly as you can. You want to make sure you get the right answer. That's the best thing. But the tiebreaker is who answered questions fastest. Although last week we just had a clear winner. We just had somebody who was...
That's correct. Who won outright. It didn't go to the tiebreaker, but
last time we played trivia. Yeah,
last time. Yeah. Time is relative, Dave, and we're having this much fun.
We're having this much fun, and we're gonna. There's a super chat, but we'll read it after the.
We will get to the super chats after the trivia. So, counting down, ready to go, and I have not seen the question, so I can.
No, Paul's playing along this week.
Yep.
The first movie to feature flying saucers was a black and white independent film, The Flying Saucer. What year was The Flying Saucer released? 1974, 1958, 1950, or 1927?
So type in your number, 1, 2, 3, or 4. No, don't type the year, but type in the number that you think it was. I will make my guess once the tallying is. I don't want to sway people. I have a guess. Dave, do you know? Was there a boost in UFO sightings in the year when that movie came out?
You know, I don't know. That would be an interesting...
I wonder if that would be possibly the case.
Oh, I see Neil, the 604 Atheist, type the actual year, and you got to type just the number, Neil. Yeah.
All right, so I think it was 1950. That's my guess. We'll see what the right answer is.
We'll see what happens.
It might be 58. I could be wrong about this. 27's too
I feel like a lot of people are just kind of guessing on this one. This is a little... Oh. It was 1950.
Okay. It was between, for me, it was a toss-up, 50 and 58. So well done to those of you who... got it correct. And so the next will...
If you didn't, don't feel disheartened. There's 8 questions, so we got a lot of time to make up ground. And sometimes they definitely get easier than this one. They're a little tough.
We've had different numbers on different times. This time we're going to go with... we got 8 questions, so no worries. You got lots of time to catch up. Now, the other thing we got going for us, Dave, is we got our new trivia clock up in the corner.
Yes.
So once that drink disappears...
Yeah, once that whiskey gets all drunk up.
Then it will be time for the next trivia question.
Yeah.
So, all right. So I feel like the next thing we need to do is talk about... Well, people, if they're familiar with the show, they're familiar with Art Bell in general and the type of show that it was. If you're not, it was a late-night radio show that entertained all manner of... They were very open-minded about the kind of topics that they would share with everyone.
And we hearing a bunch of people are saying there's a lot of static.
So I'm also hearing that static. So I'm wondering what that is.
I don't get any static. Somehow I got crisp, clear audio. Is it me? Am I the static?
Now the static is gone. Did you adjust something?
I muted my mic, so...
and now there's a lot of static, so...
Okay, so 1 second.
All right, no worries. All right, so what we're going to do at this point is we're going to... because we had a... Better for me. Oh, let's go. Let's put you back. So, as you know, this is the kind of top-notch production quality you can expect from Toast to Toast AM. Always on it. Anyway.
Always on it.
Let us know in the chat if that's cleared things up.
Yeah.
But yes. Anyway. So about a month ago, Dave, we had our episode Alien in the Freezer. And that was... We got about halfway through the Art Bell show that day. And
Melody Kate hurt my feelings.
So, but this is not the kind of show where we we want to leave anyone behind. So if you are not here for that, what we've done, what is all the rage, Dave? I don't know if you've heard of it. Is the Chat GPT?
I've heard something about that. Yes.
And the artificial intelligence, which
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure Art would have loved to cover.
Yep.
Anyway, so what I did was I fed our last episode into the Chat GPT and said, summarize last episode for us. Are ready? So here we go. This is Chat GPT summarizing our last episode.
I'm excited.
The story of Dr. Jonathan Reed's encounter with an alien being and its subsequent storage in his freezer is a controversial and debated tale in the world of ufology. According to Reed, he was walking his dog in the Cascade Mountains of Washington state in October 1996 when he saw a small, dark creature attacking his dog. He hit the creature with a branch and it fell to the ground, seemingly dead. When Reed approached the creature, he found that it was not of this world. Reed claims to have taken photographs and video of the alien being, which he subsequently stored in his freezer. He showed the evidence to his friend Gary, and they struggled to figure out what to do with it. They called various groups for help, but most of them were unhelpful. They eventually got in touch with a supportive group and arranged to meet with them to store the evidence in a secure place. Reed later claimed that the alien being in his freezer came back to life and was able to move around on its own. He took samples of its blood and tissue and had close associates witness the being's movements. However, Reed did not publish any scientific papers or submit any evidence to scientific study.
All right.
All right. I think that's a
So-
pretty good synopsis.
Pretty good synopsis. So I will say it was kind of funny because I plugged the episode in and it literally gave me warnings about family content. It was like, this isn't family friendly at all. And it didn't want to summarize it. And I had to go figure out what it was. And I don't know if you remember, if everyone in the
With the
chat
dog
remembers,
getting cut in half?
yeah, the dog, the dog getting cut in half. So it's okay, when people get hurt. But even ChatGPT is like, no, a dog gets hurt in this story. I'm not willing to talk about that.
Yeah. I've seen John Wick. I know how this goes.
That's right. That's exactly. So, that doesn't have as much of the color of what happened.
Yeah.
But that would be the facts, and that was an economical way to do it. So I think everyone can probably catch up. That's probably good enough
Yeah, I think
to
so.
get started
Absolutely.
with the second hour of Alien in the Freezer.
Once again, Dr. Jonathan Reed, and Robert Rafe. Gentlemen, you're back on the air, and obviously you don't have the alien now. Doctor, tell everybody why.
Well, when the ninth day came along, I finally drove back to my house one evening, and as I was driving up to my house, I witnessed men and vans going in and out of my house with hand trucks, taking everything out of my house there was. A few hours later, I went back, and they had destroyed my house. They had gone through the floors, they had gone through the walls, there were holes in the walls and the ceiling. They had taken everything I had.
Stay good and close to the phone for me. They'd taken everything out of your house, including apparently the freezer and the alien.
I walked out to the garage. They had pried the entire door frame, not the door, but the door and the frame right out of the wall of my garage. And
That seems excessive.
Maybe that was the only way to fit the freezer out.
Oh, maybe it's extra
I
wide.
feel like you could just open the garage door, though, if it was a garage.
It's the federal government, Dave. They don't know what they're doing.
Haven't you ever seen Brazil?
Did you know, Dave, that there's now a show on TV called FBI International?
I did not. I didn't know that.
Just let that bounce around in your head for a while.
Isn't I mean, I'm not American, but from what I've been led to believe, isn't that not how that works?
The F in FBI is no longer federal, it would seem, but that's fine. It's TV, Dave.
FBI stands for fuck you. We're in charge now.
freezer was gone.
So your house was right. When you saw all these vehicles in front of your house, and you saw people carrying stuff out of your house, you just took off.
I kept going.
Where'd you go?
Well, I drove up to another friend of mine named Dolly.
Ooh. This reminded me this is a little bit like the Mel from Mel's Hole,
Right.
in that, he also called into Art's show. Although I
Uh-huh.
guess this didn't happen because of Art's show. This happened
Yes, this
this
was
happened because he gave his evidence to his friend
yeah, and I
Gary.
believe he didn't. This wasn't a
Gary,
random
right?
thing. Like, Art reached out to him to get him onto the show. Right, he was
Right,
scheduled.
and this was, but what also caught me was this was 9 days after the original incident, which is similar to Mel's Hole as well. But
Yeah. Wow.
all right,
Who also had known what was going on and sat there and waited and decided, eventually I didn't know what I was going to do.
Sure. All right, so you finally did go back to the house. When you did, you found it torn up. You found the door gone, the freezer gone, the alien gone, and a disaster at your house. You've been on the run ever since, haven't you?
Yes, ever since.
wait, did we miss? Okay, we got to. Never
I
mind.
think it's important to interject here as well, Art.
Oh, Melody
that,
Kate, I hope you didn't
Dolly
think I was actually
is dead.
I apologize.
She was managing some of the evidence for Jonathan and Gary, whom I
What you want to read Melody's?
Yes, I'll read. Sorry, Dave. Lifting my whistle pig bourbon to you in my toast to toast glass. Appreciate that. She was. I was poking fun. She made a crack about my beard. It did not. You didn't upset me. Don't worry. You don't have to apologize for anything. I've got pretty.
No, Dave can take a good ribbing.
Yeah.
Did we miss?
But I also do very much enjoy whistle pig bourbon, and I applaud your choice.
I feel like we missed a super chat that happened during the.
I was
during
gonna
trivia.
say something. Yeah, I feel like we did. We should probably go.
Yeah, I'm gone. I've gone back now.
Well, about time.
So during the trivia game was Jay Victor,
Yes.
and Jay Victor writes, "I'm starting the goth scene here in my neighborhood. How can color help me? I've tried the premium brand's color with you, but had no success so far." Well, Dave,
I mean, results are neither guaranteed nor typical, but I would say even with your goth experimenting, try maybe like a red, neckerchief or some like violet eyeshadow. You want to have, I think just the touch of color there is actually going to highlight the like just set it off. You want that contrast kind of feel there.
I
Paul,
disagree.
your thoughts?
The goth kids they're gonna realize you're a poser. The only acceptable makeup in the goth scene is white.
The fact that you're in the goth scene means you're a poser. That part is fine. I hope there's no goths in the audience for just insulting them now. Or at least I am.
I'm not sure color. Now, look, not every sponsor is for everybody. Perhaps if you don't enjoy beverages, you don't want mugs, for example. So, it's possible that, if you're in the goth scene, you may want to look to, again, but we have other sponsors like pants.
Pants, absolutely. Maybe you're a shorts person.
Mm-hmm.
And legally, we're not allowed to ban you from this channel. But,
That's right. So,
welcome.
Exactly.
Shorts wearers.
All right. Well, thank you everyone for the super chats. We appreciate it all. All right.
Yes.
Carry
all right,
on with.
So the government ripped his garage out of its frame.
And he said something happened with somebody named Dolly.
He's going to his friend Dolly.
Okay.
seen personally
Maybe a sheep.
has been beaten beyond belief.
And so he won't say a word?
Well, I don't know that he really could say a word, Art.
Okay, wait. Who got beaten? Was it Dolly? You
want me to back that up?
30 seconds there? Yeah.
Back up the truck.
Is dead, and she was managing some of the evidence for Jonathan. And Gary, whom I've seen personally, has been beaten beyond belief.
And
Gary
so he
got
won't
beat
say
up.
a word?
Well, I don't know that he really could say a word, Art. He looked like a survivor of Auschwitz when I saw him.
And Dolly, how did Dolly die?
A couple months after this all happened, I had called Dolly to go up and pick up some evidence that I had stored with her, some other photographs and other videotape.
Right.
During these 9 days, as I acquired different amounts of film and different amounts of evidence, I would send it to different places, knowing that people were watching us, that they were going to our house, that they were following us in vans, and I was afraid of losing everything. And I had stored some of this with her. So I called her one morning and said, I want to come and pick this up. And she said, fine, no problem. I said, I'll be there in a short time.
And?
When I got to her house, I found her dead on the floor in her kitchen. They said she died of natural causes. The package that she had said was set out was nowhere to be found.
Gone.
This has gotten very dark.
Yeah. Yeah, this took a turn.
I didn't know that's where this is less fun. Well, and the first one, to be fair, you know, we were talking about cracking skulls with sticks and dogs being ripped in half and disintegrating and things. So, all right. So everyone who he's been sending evidence to,
yes,
they're all.
We got a real, like, full-on Men in Black, you know, smoking man kind of.
Right. So
anybody who gets touched by this thing gets killed or has bad stuff happen to him. Yeah.
Gary got beat up, and Dolly is dead
of natural causes.
Of natural causes, but yeah. Yikes.
Of course. All right. Is that the point where you took off and you said, obviously my life is also in danger, I'm out of here, or what?
Absolutely.
Okay. You've been on the run now how long, Doc?
So, you know, Shannon asked a good question. Exactly why are they killing all the friends and leaving?
I can't remember. Wasn't he, like, on the lam, kind of, like, was avoid, like, there's a reason he wasn't at home, or I'm trying.
Oh, right, because you're right, because he wasn't there when they arrived.
Yeah.
And tore his house apart.
Yeah. Someone asked earlier about what the alien looks like. Should we?
Oh,
because we do have. Yeah.
Do we want the photographs?
Want the photographs? We do have photographs.
Look at this photograph. All right.
Look at this photograph. Okay, those are the negatives.
These first few are from the actual, like, proper coast to coast website.
Yeah.
Although they had to go back to the Wayback Machine to link to them. I don't know exactly why, but all right. So this, I don't think you can see my cursor, which is fine. So this one on the left here seems to be an alien head with a tinfoil blanket or something.
Yeah, that's so. I mean, we have the actual photo of it, but that's the alien head.
Oh, okay, all right. And then this one's the ship,
the obelisk, they call
the obelisk. All right, and then we have whatever this is.
It was some trinket or something he found that was made of unknown metal.
Now, just as someone who, you know, has done some Photoshop / effects work in my life, this is clearly just some symbols that it is in no way contoured to the shape of this metal. But, you know, whatever. Another one, I don't know what this is.
I believe it's the same thing. These are all just the same thing.
Same thing.
Yeah.
Again, the symbols don't seem to be. Anyway, all well and good. And then someone has put together. You found this.
Yeah.
Someone's got a Flickr gallery. What do we see in here, Dave?
So then, if you click on the top right photo there,
the gold one.
Yeah. So there's the alien. I don't know if we can. Yeah, that's the alien head.
Oh, sure.
If you scroll down, that's like what the negative was, right?
Okay. Let me go back.
Scroll way down. There we go. There's some shots of the alien.
Oh, this right here. Yeah.
Yeah.
We got a lot of ads on this website. That's a big surprise.
Yeah. So there you can see, yes, where he brained it with a log. The alien head is wrapped. He's got it because he wrapped it up in foil or whatever, a survival blanket. That's what it was, and put it in his freezer.
Yeah, he wasn't going to eat. He wasn't planning to eat it.
The clearly real alien. Yeah.
Oh, look, Dave.
Yes.
Our trivia timer is gone
Oh,
off.
it has. Also, we missed a super chat from Roger Wenzel. Should we throw
All
it up
right, so
before the trivia?
first we'll do that.
Yeah.
First, I'm going to take the trivia time clock off there. We got Roger. I have my doubts, not to cast aspersions on your sponsor, but wasn't it color that caused poor Joseph to be sold into slavery? Perhaps color has made product improvements since then. Well, that's a fair point.
Yes.
So actually, I think let's spin this round in terms of our sponsor. It was the jealousy of the
amazing
brothers.
color. It wasn't that Joseph had colors, the brothers didn't.
Yes.
If they'd just gotten some color too, everybody could have been fab.
Listen, frankly, Dave pointed it out. If you like attention, if you like positive affirmation, definitely Joseph with his coat of many colors got affirmation.
Affirmation. Yep.
What it may, warning is that it may bring you unwanted attention from men. I suppose that's a warning.
Or wanted.
Or wanted. It depends on depends on the individual. So, so yeah, everyone's fair. So okay, so let's go back to we got our trivia. I gotta
Trivia number 2.
I gotta resume the game. I should have let the counter. I'm always a little rusty. We only do this about once a month.
Yeah.
I have to let the timer tick down.
We ironed out all these kinks in our exhaustive rehearsals of our.
It's true. When our various test runs. Okay, so everyone get your trivia fingers going. Be ready to enter a number in the chat. Again, even if the answers are a number, you type the corresponding number.
1, 2, 3, or 4. That's it.
1, 2. Yeah, that's what we're looking for.
All right. Why do all the aliens in Star Trek have 5 fingers and look like baristas in skull caps and too much makeup? 1. Many alien species are actually stranded human time travelers that diversify. 2. Life tends to evolve on similar planets and tends toward a similar form. 3. 4-armed alien suits are expensive. Or 4. 4.5 billion years ago, bored human-looking aliens messed with everybody's DNA. Shannon doesn't get this one.
This is so this is either this is the in-lore answer, but it's not necessarily in-lore. There could be in-lore or out of lore. This is the real true life Gene Roddenberry what's up with his brain reason.
This was like there was like a 4-episode arc in Next Generation.
Yes, no, I recall that there was, now that it's the answers, there was someone seeding alien DNA, much like the engineers in the Alien franchise, to explain why all the humanoids looked humanoids, and they brought a Romulan and a Klingon and stuff together. There it is.
Yay.
A lot of people got that one right. Number 4 this time.
Yeah.
Well done, everybody. Good job on watching the Star Treks.
And if you somehow put all the DNAs from the different species together, it made like a message.
Oh, that's right.
It was like, we love you, be excellent to each other. Yeah.
Right. And it's always the way. There's some great message from the alien species. It's never something specific. It's just generic positive vibes.
Yeah. It's generic positive vibes, yeah.
Good job, everybody. All right. Back to...
we got a super chat.
Well, we got a super chat. So let me pause the game here, and let's go back to our super chat screen.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we already did that one. We're not.
We already did that one.
All right. Fighting words.
Well, you missed. There was one
Jay
from Timothy
Victor.
Harmon that's in between those two.
Well, we'll do Jay Victor's bottom 3 TNG episode.
Well,
actually, I'm not gonna defend it. There's a lot of bad TNG episodes.
bottom 3 is. There's some pretty stiff competition.
In and amongst. Oh man, I have to. I'm gonna have to do some rejiggering to get the fax machine underneath the super chats. That's all right.
Me today, gray sweats, gray toque for Canadians. No fear of unwanted attention from men. Wow. I don't know about that, Timothy. I hear you've been working out.
There's some fear. This is so no one can see. I'm gonna have to fix this in our next technical break.
Well,
All right. Rosterman said he's going to be faxing me a loop of black paper, which would have been a gag back in the faxing days.
yes. And
All right.
thank you very much, Slackback. for gifting
Oh, see,
5
now
memberships.
now I see what's happening here. Everyone's becoming a
Yeah.
member. All right.
So apparently, every time that happens, the machine pops up, which
All
is
right.
an excellent feature.
Excellent feature. Well, here we go.
Yeah.
So what I'm going
It's
to
not
do,
a
we're
bug.
going to put the trivia clock back up so that we know when the next question is going to start, and we're going to do some more Art Bell. Thank you to all the members though, and to Slack Black for sending them our way.
Well, I've been on the run for a good 4 years and trying to survive with the help and grace of God and friends.
One I assume is Robert Wraith.
Absolutely.
All right. Gentlemen, we have a couple of people we're going to try to talk to this hour. One of them is named Dan Irea, and he's in Indiana, and I don't know how much we want to say about... Uh-oh. What's going on there? Did we just lose somebody?
I'm here.
Robert?
Yeah.
You're there? How about you, Doctor? Dr. Jonathan
he
Reed
gone.
is gone. He's gone.
Oh no!
Oh my.
Oh my
Well,
God.
we'll get Dr. Reed back on the line here shortly. I have no idea what just happened. But while
I think we all know what just happened.
Obviously the aliens came. Not the
The
aliens,
aliens
the
need
government.
wishes.
The government came. Yeah, and
To be fair, the aliens are probably also mad at him.
true.
They did hit the guy with a stick and then
Just because I
call it
ripped
a
your dog
freeze.
in half, and yeah.
we can, let's go ahead and get Dan Irea on the line. Let's see if we can do this. No, we just lost everybody now except Dan Irea. Dan, you're on the air.
I'm still
Paul?
here.
Okay.
Yes.
This is how we are recreating the authentic coast-to-coast experience with our constant technological fuck
That's right. That's right.
This
These
is-
are our technical problems are homages.
Yeah. My mic's staticky as hell. It's just like art,
Yeah. I think your mic is actually currently still pretty staticky.
Is it still really bad? Okay, well, if it's I don't want to do that. So I will switch over to my headset, which will sound better, but I'll be wearing a headset. But
Oh, okay.
okay. Although I don't,
I can mute you if you want me
is
to
that
mute
going
you.
to f up your audio? Because
We'll see.
we'll see what happens.
Dan, since you're the only one I've got right now, things always go this way on this program. Since you're the only one I've got right now, Dan, let me proceed with you. How did you get involved in this, and what do you know?
Well, I became involved in this when I was working out at Microsoft in 1998.
Wait, are you using your headphone microphone? Oh, okay. All right.
That's the plan.
Oh, also kind of staticky. Anyway, I'll work on. Let's see what I got on my side here. You still there, Dave?
How's that? Can you hear me?
Oh, that's perfect. That's crystal clear.
There we go. I hadn't switched over to the. You were getting static, but that wasn't.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Perfect. Now
There we go.
we're back. Perfect. Thank you, everyone.
Sorry, everybody. Apologies. We'll try and do better next time. I might need
In the
to
Redmond area.
Okay.
And
update my sound
so
equipment. a
I
little bit.
was nearby the area where the
Oh, we need to go back on the.
Everybody, super chat to buy me a new mic. No, don't.
But while we can, let's go ahead and get Dan Irea on the line. Let's see if we can do this. No, we just lost everybody now except Dan Irea. Dan, you're on the air.
I will never. This is Dan Irea sounds just too much like
Yeah.
a bodily problem.
Yeah.
And it's yeah. That's not good. It's a
It's
mistake.
gonna be a.
It was
be
a
a
rough
running
go
joke.
for him in elementary school, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, the kids. You know how kind children can be.
I'm still here.
Okay, Dan, since you're the only one I've got right now, Things always go this way on this program. Since you're the only one I've got right now, Dan, let me proceed with you. How did you get involved in this, and what do you know?
Well, I became involved in this when I was working out at Microsoft in 1998 in the Redmond area.
Okay.
And so I was nearby the area where this all happened, and that's kind of what piqued my interest. I heard the initial broadcast and listened to the several subsequent broadcasts. And I left Microsoft at the end of 1998, went back to my hometown here in Indiana, and I kind of kept in tune listening to see what would happen, and hadn't heard anything for quite some time. So I emailed Dr. Reed in June or July of 1999, kind of inquiring as to what had happened since his last Art Bell appearance, because there seemed to be quite a lull, and I hadn't heard of anything happening. I wasn't aware at that time that he had presented in San Diego and that he had been shot after returning to Canada shortly after that presentation.
Oh, he was shot, that's true.
Right.
Hold on just one second. Let me see if I can get rid of this noise. I'm trying to get things reorganized here.
Oh, good. So the noise is on his side. See?
This is what I'm telling you. We are recreating the authentic coast to coast experience here for
Because
our.
I'm sitting here thinking, oh no,
Yeah.
now there's some kind of squeal on it. Okay.
Oh yeah, no, it's
That's on Art's side.
Yeah.
All right, Timothy. New Mike. Have we paid for the coffee table yet?
Good question.
Well, as far as I'm concerned,
Uh-huh.
the coffee table fund. What's the best strategy for me here? No, the coffee table fund is not complete yet. And
There you go.
And so we are so far away from the coffee table fund goal. I just don't even see how we can meet it. That's my fear, that it will never be met.
We'll show you, old man ends. We'll save that community. Buy that coffee table.
Danaria sounds like one of the patrons at Moe's. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Dan's lovely wife, Di. Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. And anyway, proceed. I guess I'll tell you what we're going to do. I've still got you, Robert Wraith. I've got you back, I think, don't I?
Yes, you do.
All right. I'm going to have to try and set up lines again, because getting these set up apparently is not as easy as it looks. And since we lost the doctor, we've got an imbalance in the lines here. So what am I going to do? I'm going to let you tell me for a moment.
So is he saying, wait, imbalance in the lines?
I don't know what that means.
Okay, but is that what the technical problem looks? So I think Art did look like quasi-produce the show himself, much like I do here.
Yes.
So yeah, imbalance in the lines. I'm not sure exactly what he meant by that, but
It's
anyway, if that's
it's crazy to think when you're there and it's like he had actual sponsors and millions of listeners. It's just
true.
like,
yeah,
this is live. What do we do? Fiddle-dee-dee.
Fiddle-dee-dee. All right.
Moment, who this is, who Dan Irea is. Tell me what you know about Dan. I'll try and get him back on the line.
Well, Dan was a person that got very interested in the case. He was somebody that really wasn't heavily involved in the concept of ufology. However, he had abiding interest in the subject itself. When he had heard Jonathan talk about this story on your radio show, he became very intrigued by the possibilities. He wasn't sure whether it was real or not at the time. He later found out that we would be presenting at Laughlin in Nevada at the UFO Convention and Congress there.
He was presenting at the USO Convention and Congress? Maybe.
He was or was he talking about the Danaria guy?
Yeah, he's talking about Danaria, yeah.
Yeah. You see, he said he was something with Microsoft. I'm not sure what I guess let's look him up. Let's see what Dan. Yeah. What's his deal? Trying to find out how to spell his name. Yeah, I don't know. Anyways,
we don't know.
we don't know who this guy is.
All right. Should I put the sound back on?
Yeah, let's throw the sound back on. We'll see if I can find this in the meantime. But
In the meantime and in between time.
That is where we first
Meantime,
met
in
him.
between time.
Okay. I think that I might have him back. Hold on here. Let's see. I'm going to have to try this one more time. I'm trying to get them both on the line and get it to sound right. So let me try this one more time. Let's see if this works. All right. Let's see if we have Robert there.
I'm here.
And we have Dan.
I'm here.
All right, good. All right, so through the conference in Laughlin, you hooked up with him.
Yes, Pam McLeod.
That means something different now.
I think it did back then too.
I mean,
No.
good for both of them if they're, if they're.
It means they, had sex.
Oh, okay. So it did mean the same thing. Okay.
Yeah. What about this? Don't you understand, Paul?
Was kind enough to introduce me to Dr. Reed, kind of discreetly,
Right.
the day before the presentation. And I had a short conversation with Jonathan just the day before. And during that conversation, he was very sincere. He showed a lot of emotion. And I felt like he was, very much telling the truth.
So you believe the whole story?
Well, I after he showed me the bullet wounds and told me a lot about what was going on, I felt like, I really did.
Bullet wounds.
There's pictures of him in there. I don't think he's talked about it yet, but he gets shot by the government at one point. That's the I'm pointing at it as if you can see the ones there on the left-hand side. If you go up a bit,
Literally.
right there.
Okay. Oh,
So there's
wait.
the down
This
right there with like on the
circles?
left-hand side, the four pictures.
entrance
yeah, the
wound.
four,
Okay, from a
entrance and
single
exit
9
wound,
millimeter
yeah.
round. Okay.
right. That's his
Exit
shoulder. You
wound.
can see. Yeah.
So this is Dan. This is literally Dan Aria, or is it the alien? Oh, that's
No, it's Jonathan Reed.
okay. So Jonathan got shot here.
Yeah, Reed got shot. And then
All
so
right.
he showed the bullet wound to Danaria, and
Gotcha.
that's what convinced him that he was telling the truth about the alien.
Okay, because aliens use apparently 50 millimeter rounds and 9 millimeter rounds.
I believe the government shot him.
Oh, I see. All right.
Yeah.
I've lost track of the narrative, Dave.
It's because it makes complete sense.
Have a clue as to what it would be like to have an encounter like this. This sounds like what really would happen, and my kind of idealistic notions of what should happen weren't probably very realistic at all. So,
All right, so where do you add credibility to this story? What research did you do that...
That is a line I need to use more often.
So
Where do you add credibility to this story?
help me here.
I feel like on my channel, my main channel, when we talk about some of this creationist type stuff,
Okay.
some of these
So,
middlemen.
Where do you add credibility to this?
There's an incredulous story. I'm hearing it. And you're in the middle.
Yeah, and you keep repeating it loudly. Where do you
would
add
tell us
credibility?
that it's a real McCoy?
okay, well, I think one of
Oh, has perhaps Melody done some? Is this some research for you?
It seems like I'm gonna Google this now.
So yeah, so it's Dan Iria
Of
again,
Indianapolis.
and his wife Diana Iria, Di for short.
the most critical
This is a classy operation we got going here.
Yeah.
things that I've been able to do is I did get the negatives authenticated, which you had looked at them, and
Again, I'm unclear as to who is the negative authenticating body governing what body authenticates
Vishanti just triple dog dared you, Paul.
to what?
Triple dog dared you
Oh,
to use that line on Eric this week.
they should. So Eric Hovind, for those of you who don't know, is coming to have a chat on this very channel. You should subscribe now if it's something you're interested in.
I was not aware of this.
Yep. You're not. Yeah, you're not in charge of programming on non toast to toast days.
I didn't mean I should be approved. I just meant I wasn't aware, and now
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
interested and intrigued. Your ideas intrigued me, and I wish to subscribe to your newsletter.
That's right. So these negatives were authenticated in some way.
Yes,
I don't
in that
understand.
those are actual definitely negatives.
I think that's all you could authenticate, right? Is that
Yeah,
yeah? This looks like
Yeah.
it came from a film, from a
I
camera.
know. Art had we talked about. He's like, "Well, I've seen the negatives." So, yeah.
He scammed them himself. He assured us over and over. So Art knows how to scan a negative. Oh,
Yep.
do you see the alarm?
Oh,
bell
trivia
going there?
time!
Oh,
It's trivia time! Trivia time!
okay. When we get to the game,
Yeah,
and I'm going to turn off that alarm clock, which doesn't have any sound. So that's the good part about that. All right, so we got just 10 seconds here to
10 seconds.
Get your
Yep.
trivia answering fingers ready.
Everybody, get your number punching buttons.
Question
ready
3.
to go.
Hopefully, if you can catch up, if you're up behind.
Founded in 1974, the National UFO Reporting Center has processed roughly how many claims of encounters with alien craft? 1 over 95,000, 2 over 35,000, 3 over 325,000, or 4 over 170,000.
So this is where I start to play. I have no idea. This would be a guess for me. So I feel like I would start playing how well do I know the question writer? And what are they apt to do? Are they apt to
I mean, you know me better than anybody else in this room does, so
I feel like it's not going to be the 35. Like it's just, but this is one of those ones where it could easily be like 700,000, knowing you, and you would have just, I don't know. I'm going to go with 325 because I feel like you're the kind
the number
of
is
person,
actually very close to one of those numbers.
okay.
I wasn't playing some weird Prices Right. Closest without going over.
Closest without going over junk.
It is not. It is not either
now
of the
it's
extremes.
no. So it probably is. It's probably not. Yeah. Okay.
It's
There you
170,000.
go. I was.
As of last year, it was like 173 or something like that.
I would fail on this. That was my fourth choice. So
That was your fourth
I'm
choice,
wrong. Okay. Well,
But most people, it seems like
a lot of people got it.
Oh no, a lot of people picked 3. A lot of people
Oh.
picked the big one, the over 325. Yeah,
Oh,
a lot of people went with you.
only 11 people got it right, including Shannon. Look at that.
There you go.
There you go.
I'm
Okay.
glad. I feel bad because she's a Star Trek fan.
Although, is that why you threw a Star Trek question in there?
That is actually deliberately her
to
her
even
and
the
my
playing field for her a little bit.
Facebook interaction is why I threw
I
a Star
see.
Trek.
All right.
Just
fair enough.
to Plus, she bitches about the trivia questions a lot.
Are you watching Picard?
I am not, but I think I'm going to because I've heard a lot of good things about season 3.
So, have you seen any of seasons?
Yes, unfortunately.
Oh, okay. I was going to
So
say
that's
'cause
why I was like, I'm not watching this. Yeah.
you could just watch season 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
But what I did watch was seasons 1 and 2.
yeah,
so-
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. So I guess that's hey, if you out in the audience haven't jumped on the Picard train, season 3 is a great place to start.
Yeah, absolutely. Just jump from Next Generation to Picard. Don't watch any other Star Trek that's aired in between. Yeah.
In the Paramount Plus era.
Yeah. I've heard
Although,
it said that Picard season 3 is the Next Generation movie we never got, is what somebody told me.
I would agree with that. I
Yeah.
would agree with that. Although the one downside, it references the events of Nemesis, and fairly because that was the last major. So more than I would like.
Well, there you go. Because I know
But
it's
not
Spider's
his
in it, right?
fault.
So like you're going to talk about before and because Data's dead, right? Or I
Right.
don't know why. I'm not. Don't tell me. I don't know, but like he died in Nemesis, so you got to mention that if you have
Yeah.
before in there, and you have to explain why is this person here and what's going on.
Yeah, but it just keeps reminding me of that one movie I really didn't like. I mean, it's fair because it's a sequel to it, so you
Yeah.
gotta. But yeah,
It's far from the worst Star Trek movie.
yes. The Ronin for $5 rate. I can't believe I arrived late and missed the easy Star Trek question, but then got this. Woo!
Yeah, sorry.
Oh, I'm
There's some good
assuming
ones coming. Some good ones coming.
But maybe the Ronin. I wasn't paying enough attention. Perhaps the Ronin answered it correctly. It looks like maybe they did. I don't know.
I don't know. I think season 2 of Next Generation's okay, Victor.
Well, I mean, we can all agree. Maybe we can't. It fell into its own in season 3. That doesn't mean there's anything wrong with season 2.
No, it's a marked improvement over season 1.
Like most things. That's okay. That was what you're referring to.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you, Jay Victor, for your super chats. Appreciate.
Well,
leave Kodak.
Are we ready to go back to? Oh, I need
Yeah.
to put up the trivia timer
well, we
once
got to put the timer back up. Yep.
And now we'll see what's the good about this trivia timer is it's flexible based on when we start, as
That's
opposed to when we tried before to be, via the clock on the wall, which wasn't as friendly for us. So, all right. As everything, this show is an ongoing experiment.
Which, as we've, numerous times stated tonight, is just an homage to
That's correct.
Val. Yeah.
And
we designed it this way.
also, I think I turned the fax volume down. I don't know if that works. You can let me know in the chat if the fax is a little quieter now.
Kodak had looked at them as well.
Yes, I had the negatives, and I, of course, sent them back.
Right.
But then you got them, and how did you authenticate them?
Well, I went out and I looked through the industry to try to find somebody who I felt was rather objective and unbiased, and someone who wasn't strictly connected to ufology or this field and making a living off of it, because I felt those people might not be the most unbiased of individuals.
So epistemologically and evidentially, I can, if that was the route that he went, I can appreciate that. Mm-hmm. He was, I think he also was answering part of my question there. So he wasn't looking for anyone to authenticate, this as this wasn't the photography experts per se. Oh, maybe it is, but there's no governing body saying this is an authentic negative. He was
just
out looking for people.
Yeah.
So Phil Greeley, for a while, a very generous US $20, which is roughly, I think, $368 Canadian.
I can get me a mighty fine mic for that. I can get one of them fancy ones that uses electricity.
Whoop.
Like the movie stars use.
Like the movie stars use.
Yeah. Like all them YouTube stars? What's on the phone?
Mm-hmm. When's the last time you swapped out your XLR cable, by the way?
Years. That's why I'm pretty sure my XLR cable is bad.
Yeah, because I had to do that. You and I have the same microphone, and I did swap out my XLR cable about a few months ago, and it made a market improvement. So
yeah, so I think that is it, because this cable dates back to
our original channel.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's like 6 years or whatever.
Yeah.
So time for new one, because apparently professional XLR users, they like twice a year they swap their cables. So
yeah, and I knew that.
So be it.
They can cost upwards of $15, Paul.
That's right,
Scott. I guess now I've got that kind of money.
You got that kind of money in your pocket. Yeah.
Oh yeah, everything's coming up, Z-Bart.
So I went to a gentleman named Bob Shell, who's the editor of Shutterbug magazine, and I told him what was going on and what I'd like him to do, and he agreed to do it. And so I met with him in his town there in Virginia, and showed him all that we had, the negatives, the video, and he did produce a document for me, which I have up on my website. And much of this information that I have that I'm sharing tonight.
What is the document? What's the nature of it?
It's just an authentication document. It just basically states that he says that they are authentic by his analysis, and it's signed and dated by him.
All right. And I'm going to...
That still tells me nothing. Authentic Wooly what?
Like, this is definitely an actual film negative. I mean,
right,
we can all agree. Yeah.
Because I'm just seeing if the authentication certificate happened to make the gallery here. Do you know if it did?
No, this was just some like somebody. There's multiple websites devoted to this.
Okay.
story.
Fair
Yeah.
enough.
Yeah. I found this gallery in like a Reddit thread talking about arguing whether or not this was true. Yeah.
So I think we need to address this. It's not a super chat, but we'll
Yeah.
address this in the chat.
Oh, Shannon, I have said my full name and the city I live in on this show multiple times, and I kind of
But
don't
here's the
care.
thing: everyone's been
Yeah.
drunk, and that's fine.
Yeah.
But you have no. I want what I this. You are on Twitter now for
Yes.
for the show purposes.
Yes.
Do you recall your handle?
Toasty Dave, I believe, right? Toast
No,
to
that's
Dave?
your that's
Toast-
it's so if you type Toasty Dave, they won't get it. You're toast to
Dave, right?
toast the number 2 Dave.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll
Dave.
find that and then bring that up on the screen in a minute here. But anyway,
Although I almost feel bad plugging it because I am almost never on Twitter, and so it's there's not a lot of content there.
no, but I keep tagging
Shannon,
you in
do
things.
it absolutely. Feel free. You could tag my Spoiler alert: I have another Twitter account under my
No.
actual legal name that I'm not saying here, but whatever. It's been tagged because people who know me in real life and are fans
see.
of your show were like, "Oh, hey, wow, I saw you." So like my real one's tagged with, Paulogia, kind of. It's whatever.
So everyone go find Toast to Dave here on the Twitters
There I am with my wonderful picture. I do love that logo.
because because you only have 12.
I only have 12 followers.
So yeah, we need to.
And look at all that color on there. Maybe I am doing it wrong. Shit.
Yeah, that's.
I'm just getting exposed here tonight.
Okay. More. So all right. So we got the authenticated. We somehow just authenticated that these are negatives.
These
Perfect.
definitely are negatives. They've been studied.
Yeah. All right.
Give the website out right now, folks. And Keith, I hope you're grabbing this. It's www.aliendestiny.com.
That's correct.
Well,
And
you know what I'm doing right
I've got
now.
capitals here. It can all be done in lowercase, I presume.
Doesn't matter.
Okay, www.aliendestiny.com.
Well, sadly,
And
no.
you have a document of authentication
you're
of the
seeing?
photographs there.
That is what I'm
Yes,
seeing.
it's on
But
there.
let's see what the old
the Wayback Machine.
Yeah, we're going way back.
So that's at
There's a little deep cut editing
archive.org.
of
Right?
that. Yep. www.aliendestiny. There's aliendestiny.org. Is that what it was? Or .com?
Alien Destiny. Oh,
There we go. Looks like 2004 was the last time that it had real
wait. Is it destiny.com or .org?
.com.
All right. Well, I'm seeing.
But I'm looking in 2004. It's mostly spyware ads. Let's flop back to 2001.
So, but it was last archived in 2020.
Yeah.
So, but we want to go back to closer to the time, I guess. Yeah, when.
I went and looked at 2004, and it was just a bunch of ads.
But this was roughly what? This was 2002. When was this episode? No, it was in the 90s, right?
This was like 98. This episode aired, wasn't it? Oh, here we
Right.
go. So the 2001 way back has got the link. Okay, so this definitely has a whole bunch of information about the stuff that we're. Yeah. The man behind the site. Click here for my background. Oh,
Okay.
doesn't work. Well, whatever. This, as I'm sure, as enrapturing as it is for our
Watching
audience
people
to watch
surf.
you
Yes.
and me look at
Well,
GeoCity sites.
I'll play this audio while I'm
Yeah.
looking at the.
It's actually in the area of new info.
Talk about what, Robert?
About the red eye effect.
Okay. Yeah, one of the other things that we noticed while looking through some of the evidence was that one of the pictures that they have shows Freddie, and it's looking kind of straight on.
Okay, but no, now I need to look at this website. So, so the truth is not in what we know; it is in what we seek to know. That is terrible epistemology. That is very much that's very much begging the question. So I guess
You know, it just totally by coincidence because I was watching some old classic Simpsons
Mm-hmm.
the other week, and one of the ones I watched was, do you remember the Brad Goodwin episode?
Remind
The
me.
What You Feel Like Boy, where it's
Oh,
like
yeah.
this self-help guy. This is like
Yep,
season
yep.
2 or 3, like
Mhm.
it's way back.
Yep.
And then it's like, I do what I feel like. This is just, man, it's just the worst advice. And anyways, yeah.
But
Yeah.
so as bad as that is, I like that this. So he's got this quote here. If I highlight
Mm-hmm.
it, so we got that quote there, and then this quote. We put the second quote also from
By
May
the same guy.
2020 by the same guy.
Yeah.
It's essentially the same quote. The truth lies between somewhere in between what others want us to know and what we allow ourselves to know. Like, what is the functional difference between these two quotes?
I mean, and none of them in any way reference any kind of evidence.
Nope.
Or, you know.
Hey,
Yeah.
he's got his AOL address. I'm sure that's still functioning. Perfect. All right, back to the audio.
Robert Wraith, who's all is life without truth is the only real death. Paul, tell that to the dog.
Until that doom.
Yeah, he got a big old dose.
Well,
of
that
truth.
dog knew. Yeah, he knew the truth for sure, and that cost him. Ooh,
Oh,
there's
good
a new
mailing lists.
videotape available. Okay, and I need to.
Oh,
I'll
yeah.
be searching this while we talk.
His face.
Oh,
And
apparently
produced-
Shannon tagged me on Twitter. Well, there you go.
Oh,
Shannon, you tag me anytime you want.
a very pronounced red eye effect, and that would be I would
Why don't you
presume.
why don't you pull the
and
alien back
so
up,
did,
Paul, so we can
Bob
see
Shell when I
the red
talked
eye that he's talking about?
oh, okay. We'll go back to.
Because he was discussing the photo. Somewhere there was one. I remember when he's talking about. There's one that shows the alien is like a red eye.
Okay, I'll look for it while we're listening here.
Yeah,
that would be a difficult thing to have produced if it wasn't a real eye.
That's the back of his head blown open, so that's not an eye.
is it the one with the hands opening the eye there? I thought there's one. I could swear I remember seeing one where it's like the eyes
this
are like,
yeah, this totally. So yeah, the hands are opening the eye, and it is.
Yeah. Does it have like a bit? They're talking about there's like the red eye, like the classic. I don't think that one. There's one where the eyes are almost glowing red, like you used to get in photos. You know what I'm talking about? The old red eye.
Well, yeah, sure. But we seem to have reached the end on this one.
That's
so.
it.
Oh wait, right here. What,
there.
this one?
Yeah.
This one. Oh, it's like a
Yeah, there we go.
Terminator, like a Terminator eye.
That does look like a photographic red eye, though, like we used to get back in the day. Do you know what caused that? I don't know.
Yeah. So light hitting the back of your retina and bouncing back.
And bouncing back. Okay. So
Yep.
Good enough.
And so what they developed later was that they did the flashes eventually went to this. There was a very quick light followed by the bigger light, so that your pupil would dilate properly.
Yes. Yeah, they would do the double. I remember
Yeah.
that. Yeah. I'm sorry. Shannon's throwing out true quotes there. Do you see that?
I
love coffee tables.
I don't see any true
Paulogia
quotes.
2023.
No,
Yeah,
that's
that's right. Paul, truth
it's a true
is
quote
what
that is
you
true.
what's his whatever you believe to be true.
Yeah, whatever you seek, whatever
you seek. The real truth is the truth you seek.
That's right.
I love coffee tables. Couldn't quote it if it wasn't true.
That was the kind of critical. Some of the other things that we noticed, Bob Shell mentioned, and I think Whitley Strieber did as well, that when you have a combination of negatives, video, and photographs, that's pretty compelling evidence that what you're looking at is the real thing.
All right, we're just now getting a link up. In the next few minutes, we'll have a link up.
I mean, in the 90s, that would have been about as good as you could have asked for.
Yeah, it's true.
They weren't. You could Photoshop pictures, but it was pretty tough to. There was no deep faking of video and things like that at the time. Now,
not without significant expense and equipment and
right. So I'm
you
not
need
sure
like compositing machines and stuff, right? Like
right, and actually, and you can see in movies from the time there's like huge artifacting lines and matte lines and things like that. So.
Yeah, things you spent millions of dollars on, you could still clearly
tell. Except for,
unless
of course you can achieve the alien in practical effects. That was the one thing that they had at the time. They did things practically, which is why even Jurassic Park in the late 90s, they did some of the stuff practically. Because, at the time, rain bouncing off an actual, you know,
Glass. Yep.
or no, but even like you know, the
Oh, like
reptile,
when
the scales,
like
right? Like the scaly
Yeah.
skin. They couldn't get it quite right on the computer yet. So anyway, carry on.
To aliendestiny.com.
Great.
That's important. So you did quite a bit of research then.
Yes, and I did quite a bit more than that. I also, it was brought up, I believe, by Peter Davenport at one time, and he had mentioned that red blood cells are enucleated, which means that they do not have DNA typically, or nucleus.
Right.
And what I did was I did some research because I remember back on the December 9th broadcast where Harold Chacon was interviewed, that he had mentioned something about that the skin resembled a reptile, and he had also represented.
Speaking of scaly skin, we got the alien apparently had scaly skin.
Oh, uh-oh.
Yeah, we got. But,
Wonder how long that's
so
been going.
no, just as I was talking, it switched over.
Oh, okay.
Actually, just look. So apparently, is this the scaly skin, or is that someone's slippers?
I think that's that artifact.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
Maybe though. It's hard. Who can say? We don't have the negatives to double check.
If only we had the negatives.
If only we had the negatives.
All right. So we are coming up now, everybody, on the next trivia question. Get your trivia fingers ready. We're hoping to have a winner of a lovely Toast to Toast tumbler, which mine is empty. I need to actually fill this. So while you're reading a question,
I'm gonna
fill my mug.
Greys, or Roswell Greys, are the stereotypical gray aliens with large black eyes and slender builds. What other name are these commonly seen aliens known by? Zeta Reticulans, Precursors, Betelgeusians, or Andromedans?
I have a guess on this one. I will save it until the time is up, but I have a guess.
Oh, well, he's saving it, everybody.
Well, I don't want to, actually, I don't want my dumb guess to negatively actually sway.
You don't know shit about shit. Your guess shouldn't sway anybody.
It's true, but people might follow my terrible lead.
Nobody listened to Paul.
The last question, it was my fourth choice that came up right. So I think
he has
it's
executive style hair. That doesn't mean he knows what he's talking about.
I think it's number one. I think it's Zeta Reticulans.
It is Zeta Reticulans.
Yeah, there you go.
That is the correct answer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is I can't remember. There's some people, they got kidnapped by these aliens and were taken to their home planet of Zeta
Reticuli or something.
Reticuli, yes, yeah.
Oh, we got quite a few people got that one right. So plus 13. Well done, everybody.
Ooh, sorry, Shannon. Now I'm going to hear about it. After she went out of her way and tagged me in Twitter, doing what you can for me, and I let her down.
Aside from, actually cheating, there's only so much we can do.
Yeah, I can throw more Star Trek questions in there next time.
That's right. All right, so back to... Anyway, I hope everyone's enjoying the trivia. Back to our alien
Is Zeta Reticuli where the alien movie takes place? I can't remember.
Is that someone in chat?
Yeah.
I was attracted by letting the other countdown more.
Yes. Anyways,
off we go.
That out of the 46 chromosomes, 9 of those were non-human, and they resembled those of sea tortoise and dolphin. And so what I did was I did some research.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the red blood cells, which definitely do have DNA, but don't have a nucleus, so that's fine. Of the 46 chromosomes, which only works because there's... So normally we talk about pairs, so there's 23 pairs, that's fine. 9 were from dolphins and sea turtles.
Yeah.
That is not an even number.
No.
So that's problematic because fair enough. Because they pair up.
Well, not in aliens.
But apparently, I guess not in aliens. So, but there somehow it coincidentally was 46 chromosomes, but 9 are from sea turtles and dolphins, which are not closely related in any way.
No, that's what makes it
weird. Okay,
yeah.
All right. So I either know too little about biology or too much for this to work out.
I see what the problem is. You're
Mhm.
thinking of the sea turtles and dolphins we get on Earth, not
Mm.
space sea turtles and space dolphins, which are closely related.
To enough
Yeah.
that we can identify them as from the DNA strand.
Yeah.
So space dolphins and space turtles are similar to our
Space sea
dolphins and our
turtles.
turtles.
Yeah. No, not at all.
But enough that we can identify them genetically.
No, we identify them for it's a space turtle. You recognize space turtle DNA by looking at it and seeing it's like
There's no
what are you
chart.
talking
No,
about?
we were not. They were not. No, they didn't have.
It's called the Genome Project, Paul.
Which
Fuck.
came out, which is 15 years after this.
Shh, shh. The human one, not the space turtle one.
They were sequencing space turtles way back in the 80s, man.
You're too stuck up on the truth that you observe,
Mm.
not the truth that you want.
That's how
And
come all
want
those space
I want the
turtles were-
truth where space turtles and space dolphins are closely related.
Well, there was that rash of space turtles and space dolphins being convicted of crime in the late 80s because their DNA kept matching
Well, I'm not going to comment
the
on
falsely imprisoned
that. The falsely imprisoned space sea turtles
space turtles.
who are serving time for all the space dolphin crimes.
Because we couldn't get our DNA shit together, and we were saying that there was an
Oh,
uneven
wow,
number of chromosomes.
That's why now there's all these Netflix documentaries.
Exactly. This is
Yeah.
what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
It's very famous
There's a
now.
whole podcast industry. It's based around the wrongly convicted space sea turtles.
Did we miss a super chat?
I don't know. Probably. Sounds like something we
yes.
do.
Here we go. Lail for $5. This super chat is for Paul's Spotless Coffee Table Fund.
Yes.
I definitely don't want one with spots. So
No leopard tables. You speciest.
speciest.
I feel bad if there's any like actual biologists or anyone in the room who's just losing their minds as you and I.
Oh, yes, that's the problem. Is that I know let's say 6 years ago, thought that the Earth was 6,000 years old and that humans were specially created on day 5.
Was it that recently?
6, yeah.
Man.
And I've not taken a university class on genetics since. So maybe double check if I say a thing about genetics.
Yeah, neither you or I make any claims to be actual academic biologists or geneticists or
No.
we're
But I do know
passionate
enough
fans of DNA.
DNA comes in.
Right.
I just know that chromosomes come in pairs, and so that they never really talk about an odd number of them.
Maybe the aliens got RNA.
Well, that's like saying, well, they don't have houses, but they've got lumber. Okay, well, right.
Isn't that right? Am I wrong? Doesn't RNA? That's different. Like RNA just has one.
RNA,
doesn't-
a single strand, but yes, actually, actually fine. They have just an extra bit of, but they still said it was 46 total. So that means they have.
So they're just
two
laid side by
random-
side, right?
Yeah, all right. You foiled me. You stumped me again.
Yep.
On sea tortoises, and I found that, in fact, sea tortoises and all reptiles have nucleated red blood cells. And, in fact, that's typically what they target when they test the blood of sea tortoises, is they actually go after the red blood cells, and that's what they extract the DNA from.
Wow.
So, and that's up on my website as well. So you can take a look at the analysis that I did there.
All of
That's
that,
on
huh?
the website.
Yeah,
Well,
it's up there. And
yeah.
I also, this is, I think, very
Apparently, this the story checks out. Mammal red blood cells contain neither nucleus nor mitochondria. So
Oh yeah, I know. That's why, because red blood cells don't reproduce; they're created by marrow, right?
Right, but what I didn't realize was that was a mammal exclusive trait. That I'm learning that today. I'm learning today that reptiles and other things, do have.
Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah.
So
there you go. See,
so
we
we're-
learned something new today.
It's educational. The National Institutes of Health, they wouldn't lie to us.
Why you got to go stir in the pot, Timothy? We're having a nice time here. Paul's calm. He's relaxed.
Oh. It's true. Quite recently, you thought evil could be a noun, so we grow. That I'm not embarrassed that I was wrong about so many things,
It totally can be.
and it makes total sense that I would be very confident that whatever I believe now is absolutely correct, because how?
Yeah.
Surely all the wrong things that I held I would have held them to my death.
The more things change, the more they stay the same.
Yep.
Is that
So- all right.
Important. I had knowledge
Irony.
of Dr. Roger Haggett and Michael Wessels, who are two of the individuals.
Roger Haggett in the 90s also would have had a hard time in school.
I don't know who that is. Oh, I get it. You just mean his name. Yes. Yes.
Who were on the DNA analysis team prior to their deaths. I knew of these individuals. I knew who the people were on the analysis team. I had not met these individuals, but I knew their names. And so I guess I don't need to say that I was rather disturbed when I learned of their deaths. It was, and I know how upset Jonathan was,
Yes.
and I was, equally upset.
Well, I don't want to upset either one of you, but you heard the noise when Dr. Reed was knocked off the line by whatever, and I cannot reconnect to Dr. Reed. I hope he's all right.
Well, it happened to me about 2 hours ago when I was speaking with him. The same exact thing happened.
All I get is a busy signal now, and I know that if Dr. Reed was able to, he would be hanging up his phone waiting for our call back, so I'm a little concerned.
Well, there's a lot of
Remember busy signals?
I do remember busy signals. I do. Yeah.
That's going to be a thing that I don't think my kids have ever heard of busy signal. We'll see.
I heard one this week, and I'm trying to remember. It was something to do with work, like calling.
If you
and,
call,
and data.
you'd have
Yeah.
to call a landline. I guess these landlines still give busy signals. Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
problems. People asked Art, how could anybody have gotten to Jonathan so quickly after his find of the extraterrestrial? And one of the things we know about is what's going on right now with the NSA involving Echelon and another device called Tempest. You know that Echelon is the ultimate eavesdropping device. Well, Tempest can actually see from miles away, Art, what you're watching on your TV, what you're looking at on your computer.
I can tell you both right now that my phones are tapped. I've known for a long time they're tapped. There's no question about the fact that they're tapped. And if they wanted to locate Dr. Reed, I'm afraid they could. We've been on here now for better than a couple of hours, and I just hope to God he's all right. But his phone is busy, and that was not a usual disconnect sound at all.
Did you recognize any of those listening device Tempest? Or...
Yes, I have heard of Echelon and Tempest before.
Okay,
Yes.
so tell me about what do you know about those?
I mean, so the funny thing is that it's like I don't know about the specific, like if Echelon was a real, but it was NSA, basically we're listening to every phone call. It's one of those things where it's like, oh yeah, no, and later it turned out this is absolutely happening, right? Like the NSA is essentially,
oh, okay, yeah,
right, like going with it's sort of like through Snowden and different things that have come out later, and people sort of over here is like, oh yeah, no, this is they really are monitoring most communications in some, or at least a machine is in some way, or like a human being isn't listening to every phone call you have, but they are scanning for keywords and
right, certainly,
right?
yes.
Like,
in America, that's absolutely after 9/11.
which is what he's talking about. Yeah,
they were definitely they weren't even making it secret. They were just storing.
yeah, and so the debate becomes: is this just when they just started being honest about it, or is this and there's a lot of
Right.
Legitimate reporting and going in that it's like no, this goes back a lot farther than 9/11, and it's kind of just started coming to light, and it's gotten better as technology has improved, but this goes back to Cold War kind of stuff, right? Like it's did you find it? Is that
are you
supposed to
seeing?
be
Yeah,
the
so
Echelon
this
machine?
is one of the early ones. Like, look at this. This is a
Mm-hmm.
teleprinter from tapes. Was the first device to use which classified plain text was extracted. Wow. And then they got this one looks more like 60s
That almost
era,
looks like an
perhaps.
Enigma machine. Yeah.
Yep, 1960s.
Sigum.
Yep. That's
Yeah,
hilarious.
5-rotor.
All right. I'm learning so much today. This is an educational show.
There you go.
It's a considerable risk that this gentleman has come forward with this information. A lot of things have happened. Again, Dan has talked about Wessels and Haggett. These are two very prominent gentlemen in the field of sciences from the university here in Washington. And they both died within about right around the same day, but within 2 months of each other. And one was found shot to death in his office. Somebody had entered his office, closed and locked the door, then shot him. And I believe that was Haggett. And the other one was climbing, supposedly, by himself, an area where he had been before and had to be rescued from, but he had always climbed with somebody else for reasons of safety. They found him dead at the foot of the cliff.
Dan, we don't know too much about you. What is your background?
My background is in mechanical engineering. I graduated from Purdue University with my bachelor's degree in 1986. A couple years later, I started my own engineering company. Had that for about 8 years and then sold that to a publicly held company.
All right. Well, look, you've been a lot closer to this than any of the rest of us.
I hope that's the good doctor, Colin.
You've done a lot more investigation. Obviously, you've got documentation on the website, which we're getting a link to right now. It should be up there by now. And I just don't know how to thank you. Is there anything else, Dan, that you'd like to add?
Yes. The information that you were talking about with the email verification earlier in the show that somebody had emailed you with.
Yes.
I have that up on my website as well, so they can step down through that and take a look at how the process behind it.
The process?
Art?
Yes.
Jonathan just called me on my cell phone and said for you to try calling him again.
All right. I'll try that in a few moments. We're coming up to a break. I want to finish with Dan, so we'll pick it all back up and put it back together, I hope, at the bottom of the hour. So, Dan, may I ask you this? Beyond any shadow of a doubt, how convinced...
The email verification page is gone.
Oh no! How can we possibly verify this? We have no negatives. We have nothing.
Nothing. Also, yeah, like email, even worse back then. Like email is the most fakeable thing.
Oh, it's yes. Yeah.
Yeah. It's the least verifiable thing you can get.
I have an email related story to tell you that I don't want to get into here on public, but
I gotcha.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Cool. I will think of it next time we chat offline.
Yeah.
Are you that all of this is absolutely real, Dan?
I am absolutely 100% convinced that it's real. I have no doubt at all. It's disturbing and it's hard to wrap your mind around because it doesn't really fit in the life that we've grown up with. But unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on how you're looking at it, it is 100% true.
Are there any holes in this story? I mean, you must have questioned things yourself. People ask a million questions. I'll never be able to satisfy them all and ask, on our Fast Blast here or on the phones or whatever. People will ask a million questions. We'll never do them all service. You must have asked a million questions. Did you always get good answers?
Yes, Jonathan was always very forthright with me. He was never aggravated or angry with me for asking the questions. And yes, I did ask a million, and I still do. I want to understand everything that happened, and I want to make sure.
Was it actually a million questions, or did it just feel like a million? Did you want it to be a million?
Also, aggravation. A person telling the truth can be aggravated with questions, and a person lying.
Nope.
Can absolutely just sit there all day. Yeah, let's go. Off we go.
Honest people are calm all the time.
Yep.
That I do it justice in my retelling of it as well.
Yep.
So,
anything else you can think of you want to add?
Yes, I also have some other information up on the website regarding Susie's white residue that I was able to grab a couple frame grabs of from the video.
You have frame grabs of what was left of Susie?
Yes.
Oh, that's new.
And the reason I was able to find that was because Jonathan took me up to the encounter site because he thought he could trust me to not disclose the site, and he's, that's exactly what I wanted.
Oh, that's also new. So you've been to the site?
Yes. In fact, I'm probably the only other one other than Robert and Gary who have been to the site. And I went there, and I wanted to get a feel for where everything was relative to everything else. And what that allowed me to do is go back to the video and take a look at it, and then look for things where now I knew to look for them.
As a detective would do.
Right. And that's how I was able to find the Susan
Well, you
River.
certainly are the first person I've ever talked to who's been to the site. I know there have been people up there looking.
I can't find the residue, Dave. He's got white
I
residue.
have never seen a picture of the residue, so I don't know what he's talking about there. I imagine it looks like white powder. I don't know.
I know, right? That would be the least compelling picture, I would think. It's like, hey, look at this weird white stuff. It's not just baking soda in the ground. Because it's of the dog? Is that...
Yeah, because the dog was reduced to like white powder /
Yeah,
ash,
so
right,
that's what
by
I
this
was remembering that right. So they went back out to the
Yeah.
woods and took samples of the disintegrated dog. Okay,
Yes. Yeah.
cool.
For the site in the Seattle area and haven't found it, but you verify it's the same site that was in the photographs that are on the website?
Yeah, there's the marker tree that you see near the obelisk is pretty telling. If you see that, you have absolutely no doubt of what you're looking at. It is the exact same site. I'm certain of that.
Well, Dan, I really want to thank you for coming on the air tonight. I really do. And I'm sure that by now we've got the link up there.
Right.
And so everybody can go take a look. Thank you, Dan.
Can I mention one other thing?
Very quickly.
Is it your website?
Very quickly, because we have actual commercial breaks and can't just spend whatever.
Quickly, we're going to be in San Diego on May 6th, and we're going to be in Philadelphia on March 25th presenting. So I wanted to get that information out.
So earlier, he was like, I don't want to involve anyone who's making a living out of this or getting financial benefit out of this.
Yeah.
That just to keep everything on the up and up. But also, we're going to be on tour.
Yeah, but also we're going to be on tour.
Yeah. Yeah. San Diego, come see us.
Come see us. Yeah. We're doing autographs for $5.
That's right.
You can see the white residue for $10.
You can lick the white residue for $50.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good price.
Is that on your website?
It is also on my website.
Oh, it is on the
People can
website.
grab it there. All right, Dan, thank you.
You're welcome.
Good night. That's Dan Irea, Robert Wraith, and Dr. Jonathan Reed back in a moment if we can get them back.
Yeah, maybe.
It's a weird night, but then again, this is a program that deals in high weirdness all the time. Back now to my guests, and
So I know the alarm hasn't gone off, but I feel like that's maybe just a good spot.
That's a good.
to,
I feel like a natural commercial.
we're
break.
close. Like we just got a sliver of the clock left.
Yeah.
We'll go back to the trivia.
Let's do it.
Let's
Paul,
get that.
It's your show. Let's do
Kinda.
whatever you want to do. Or is it our show?
Okay, it's our show. Get your trivia fingers going, everybody.
Gosh,
Incoming.
I'm excited.
All right.
The 2022 documentary Moonfall explains that the moon is an artificial hollow construct built around what? The giant egg of a spaceborne life form, 2, a wormhole to another galaxy, 3, a white dwarf star, or 4, a computer able to accurately predict the future. Have you seen that documentary, Paul?
So I've not seen it.
Oh,
have
it's
you?
Really, it really opened my eyes.
Oh, yeah. No, I remember it was all a buzz.
It's one of the worst fucking movies I've ever seen in my entire life.
No, I remember
It's terrible.
how bad it was.
And then it's like, but it was a major, like you see it and you're like, this has got to be like a Netflix or Amazon Prime. But it's like, oh no, this was like $180 million and it was supposed to be in theaters. And
It was supposed to be, but then it ended up going straight to streaming because.
But that's because
because
of it was more because of COVID than anything else, right? Like it. Just,
for sure, yes, that was absolutely yes. It was
like
tough
had
to
there
get
not been a
things-
pandemic, it would have been out, and it was Roland Emmerich, director of Independence Day. Yeah, there we go. We got some Moonfall.
Oh right,
fans
sorry.
in that
Number 3
building.
was my guess. Yes, all right. Very
Yeah,
good.
sure it was. Whatever.
Mhm,
It's
that's
like
right,
watching
now that
Jeopardy with my
now that
dad.
I've seen it
Every time it's
Oh,
like
yeah.
the answer is done. He's like,
Oh.
yeah, that's what I was going to say.
What is rhubarb? That's right. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
I
what
was going to
meant
say rhubarb.
yeah.
Oh yeah, it would have been a lot cooler if you said rhubarb 20 seconds ago.
Funny.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. All right. All right. So we're at the break, and hopefully we got Dr. Jonathan back on the line.
Hopefully. Dr. Jonathan Reed.
Hopefully the government didn't get him.
I mean, fingers crossed. Maybe this is where he gets shot.
Maybe.
Although apparently he's already been shot because Dan Ariel
yes,
was
he's
talking about
because
it.
we got the
even though
exit wounds.
I believe Jonathan Reed hasn't told us yet the story.
No, I
of how he
haven't.
got
This
shot.
is news to me. So
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll get some updates on why the bullets.
God, we have Dr. Reed back. Doctor?
I'm here.
Oh, my goodness. You're on some sort of sat phone now?
Yeah, I'm on a SATCOM line.
A SATCOM line. What happened? What happened to us there, Doctor?
I don't have a clue. All I know is the line went dead. So I decided to pick up and move quickly.
Well, good for you. So you're actually not at the same location at all.
Well, not quite.
I don't blame you a bit. I just don't blame you. These lines are obviously available to be tapped, and anybody with any common sense would know they are tapped. All right, I'm going to try and bring up now Robert Wraith and a new guest, Daniel McAvoy. Gentlemen, are you there?
Yeah, I am here.
Okay, good. Robert, I'm glad you're back. I'm glad everybody's safe. The doctor has had a new location on a sat phone, and we'll try and keep them that way. Daniel McAvoy, you're in the state of Delaware. Where are you?
That was me.
I'm located in Bear, Delaware, actually.
Okay.
A little bit south of Wilmington, close to the Maryland border.
Daniel, what do you have to do with all this? How'd you get involved?
Well, actually, Art, I got involved a year ago at the Laughlin conference.
I was monkeying with my earphones there. Who's this? Daniel?
Yeah. Do you know what? I'm not sure.
All right. Well, he's going to explain himself.
I was watching you monkey with your earphones, and I was actually reading the chat, so I kind of missed it.
Mm-hmm.
After hearing the story on your show, I was intrigued. I've had a lifelong interest in the paranormal and have spent many years.
Oh, are we just into callers now?
No, not callers yet. This is someone involved with the story. Yeah.
Okay.
Reviewing, researching, and writing on cases of ufology, and I found this to be an extraordinary case, one that I really wanted to hear from the participants themselves and to see the evidence for myself.
All right, so you did, and you saw the video at Laughlin, I'm sure.
Yes, indeed I did with the others at the presentation.
All right, so where'd you go from there?
Then I had met both Robert and Dr. Reed and began to have discussions with them and to begin to get to know them on a friendly basis, hearing the story and trying to get to know them and to judge for myself the character of the evidence. And they were very cordial, very helpful, and I offered my service.
Again, only honest people can be cordial.
Mm-hmm.
And all liars are rude.
That's why Hitler is yelling all the time when you see him.
Good example.
FDR,
very good.
Very cordial.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
As an investigator to do a textbook investigation of the case because I felt it warranted that.
And so how did you do it? And what did you find?
Well, what we did was I spent many hours with Dr. Reed interviewing him personally, cross-examining aspects of the story, constantly questioning him in a variety of settings and times. And he's always been consistent and has always answered the questions forthrightly.
Well, I also noticed that. He's always been consistent in the way he's described it on this program. No doubt about that. And we've really pressed him pretty hard.
Yes. The next step was...
To be fair, that actually isn't a mark of honesty, of course. If you it's not conclusive, but if you're sticking to the story and it doesn't vary, that's a helpful thing. Right? What do you
certainly beats the alternative.
Yes, I suppose so.
Of constantly changing your story. Yeah. Yeah.
Was to try and interview people who could substantiate his background. And I was most interested in finding someone who could verify his educational credentials. And after hundreds of hours of getting to know Dr. Reed and Robert, they gave me the name of a professor who had taught Jonathan at UCLA. And in June of this year, I was able to conduct an interview at the professor's home. He, in fact, remembered Dr. Reed. He remembers him in one of his classes. He was able to pull out a grade book that had Jonathan Reed's name in it. The grade he received in the class is a 3.0.
Really?
He remembered him as a student, as an engaging student, one who was really interested.
Now I'm about to display my ignorance of American culture. So how does the grade, the 1, the 2, the 3, like what does this equate to? I've never really understood it.
So
4.0 is perfect, right? That's like 100%.
Well, no, it's not. Sadly.
Oh, okay.
So I have limited experience with this, but at my Bible college, they used the 4-point system, which always drove me crazy. But you can get a 4.0, and that really is only, correct me if I'm wrong in the chat, but at my Bible college, like anything like 85 or up ended up being like a 4.0. And like 3.0 is not actually that great. Like 3.0 gets you down to like, 75 or higher.
So it's like,
or 70 or higher.
Like, and then, B students. 3.0
right,
is like B students, right? Is that
right? And it doesn't, like, I think a 0 or a 1, like it's not like it goes down below 50. Like it's my understanding, like a 0.
Yeah, because 50 is fail.
50%. Yeah.
Even in most schools, like if you go below 50,
it's not like a scale on like a 0 to 100. It doesn't map directly. It's disproportionate. Anyway, someone in the chat can probably.
Yeah, is there any kind of like hard guideline what this actually?
But I was just angry at Bible school that, like, if I could get like 98s across the board when it was actual numbers involved with things, but then people who got, because I was crazy into getting Bible stuff right, people who get like high 80s would get the same mark, like same letter, like number there, and it made me angry. Didn't like it.
They used that system at that school. That surprises me.
Yeah, they did.
That really surprises me. That's weird.
But by the time, like a few years, like only for a couple years after I was gone, then they switched to a different system. But
yeah, because it's not a Canadian thing. We don't generally use it.
No, it's not. And I'd never heard of it before going to Bible school, so I don't know.
I mean, I'd heard of it just from like movies, right? Mm-hmm. It'd be like, oh, you have a blah blah blah, whatever.
But this is what I thought. I thought 4.0 was going to mean, oh, you got 100 on everything. Well, no, it doesn't. It's just like you kind of got E's.
It's just like equivalent to getting an A, which is in Canada generally 80% or above would be an A, considered an A grade. Although they don't even really use like A, B, C's anymore.
No, not really.
All right.
Anyways, enough of that. I've derailed the conversation. I was just hoping somebody
child psychology and development. He also asked me, because he had been approached prior to this with Jonathan and his attorney in 1997 to verify his records. What I ran into in trying to verify his credentials is that all of his written records have been expunged from everywhere. I know that he graduated from San Diego State. I know that he graduated from UCLA through interviews with this particular gentleman and several others.
Are you able?
Sorry. I'm laughing. Jeff Cochran commented, I feel like ranking people by their ability is kind of rude and therefore I'm not very Canadian by default. What's funny is this is actually a raging debate in a bunch of Canadian provinces about places where it's like we need to get away with grading because that's a little judgy.
We're assigning people value
and stuff. It's like, but this is math. You can't just. It doesn't matter how you feel about it. You either got it right or you did. Anyways, yes.
Yep.
This is funny because you had no idea, but you have stumbled into what is actually a huge viper's pit of political argument in our country. Yeah.
And of course, I believe it is now nationwide standard that no student can fail a grade.
Saskatchewan, that had like the province passed a law that yes, you can.
Oh, that you can now. Oh, so but they had to pass like a law to make it now that you can.
Yeah, it's like no, and it was like a fight between the various school boards and the government. The government's like, no, we're just gonna straight up pass a law saying that this is happen. It's
So
whatever,
up until whatever that passed, though, you could. They didn't have to let you graduate. Like grade,
No.
you didn't have to give you a diploma, but you couldn't fail the grade. Like so, you
you
could
couldn't
never
fail the grade. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, to be honest, if you're failing high school or elementary school grades, there's nobody ever fails who. I honestly don't want to be mean about this, but it's like there's generally some other issue at play if you are failing, right? It's like you either need more help or have something, or have just been like, I'm not showing up to class ever, kind of thing. Like I've just walked away from school.
So with both my parents in the education system, what I would say was occasionally in those very early grades, because it's often quite arbitrary when the cutoff, and it changed from decade to decade. When's the grade? When's the birthday cutoff for like entering kindergarten and stuff? Right.
Yes.
Sometimes there was always like, oh, that boy, that kid sure feels like maybe if he was with the grade younger, that would have been, So there was some of that, but that's generally sorted by like second or third grade, which is actually the American way of saying it. We call it grade 2.
Right.
There's no. I don't know if someone can work out the Rosetta Stone on how to translate those. It seems like some Americans can't, but this is quite a weird show we got today, Dave.
It's all over the map, eh? My dad got held back in elementary school. He had to repeat the second grade. He had quite severe mumps, and he missed 6.5 months of school. He was sick in bed for 6.5 months because mumps was a big enough deal in the 40s,
right? And during the
understandably, it wasn't. They're like, well, you got to do the second grade,
right? No, but actually,
6 months of the school.
That would have been one of those cases where they're like the school policies would have been just move that student forward, just keep moving them.
Yeah.
Anyway,
but as a long-term consequence of that, he never graduated from high school because he was like over 18 and still in grade 12, and he joined the RCMP because you didn't even need a high school diploma, much less a university diploma you need now to become and he's just like, I'm off.
I knew that story. I didn't know why. So that's interesting. Okay.
So all his friends had like already left town and were working and doing things, and he was just like, whatever, I don't need grade 12. Yeah. And he didn't also, in those days. Yeah.
Cheers to the upcoming show, RCMP International.
RCMP International. Yep. Yep.
You able to name this person?
Not at this time, Art. He's on in years. His wife has passed away, and at this point, he would prefer that
he doesn't want to be assaulted by the press.
Absolutely not, and that was one of the rules that we made in beginning the investigation, that I would respect the confidentiality of the people that I spoke to.
All right,
and would get their permission for transcript recordings before I would do anything, and not to reveal because it's become a very dangerous situation.
Yeah,
of course, becoming very convenient for anyone trying to check the work. I mean, it's all sounds very plausible and good that we need to protect the people, but it doesn't allow for verification.
I know.
But I mean, if you take it at face value, then yes, this is a very dangerous.
That's the thing about
right?
sometimes these conspiracy theories, and I'm not saying maybe this was completely true. There's so many photos, but anyway. Sometimes when there are conspiracy theories,
not just photos, Paul, there's negatives.
There's some of these built-in mechanisms that allow these things to not be checked out. It's convenient. It's tricky.
So, but you're independent.
Right,
you have no connection to Dr. Reed nor Robert Wraith other than the beginning of this investigation.
Absolutely not.
You're not his nephew or.
No,
relative or anything.
No, sir. Never met them, either of them,
to get
prior to the law.
Military
hold on. We got two people trying to talk at once here.
I'm sorry.
Oh, good. I was worried. Like, did the sound go crazy again? Okay, good.
Yeah.
And only met him at Laughlin was the first time that I had met both of them.
All right. So you have no vested interest in this beyond.
No, absolutely not. Just beyond that I found it one of the most astounding cases of a close encounter of the third, fourth, and fifth kind that I've seen.
No question about it.
With an extremely large body of evidence.
That's why I've spent so much time on it, too. So
What are the rankings of the close encounters? What are the different kinds? Is this an international standard?
It is. It means that. So now I'm going to remember them. So close encounter to the third kind is seeing an actual alien. Close encounter to the fourth kind, I believe, so they go up. It gets more.
Okay.
So like first kind, I think, is just seeing a UFO. I'm going to have to Google it. Someone might correct me.
Yeah,
I believe first kind is just seeing a UFO. I can't remember the second. So third is seeing an actual alien. Fourth is actually interacting with an alien, right? So like if you're abducted by aliens, that would be a close encounter of the fourth kind. Okay, here we go. You spot something in the sky and it leaves no evidence. There we go. Second kind, UFO leaves some physical trace. Blah, blah, blah,
okay.
Contact. Yeah. Yeah. So third kind is like you make some kind of contact. You have some.
This is a real scale. Like Steven Spielberg
it is a real scale.
Didn't make this up.
No. So like that close encounter of the third kind is because the characters in the movie, Richard Dreyfuss, is like actually seeing these things. Yeah. So and fourth is, so they don't have it on here. Fourth, or maybe if you scroll down, it does, I believe.
Can you guys still hear Dave when Bella's on the screen? I'm not sure. Sorry.
Can you hear me when there's
I'm not sure
on?
when you're off the screen. So
5 is butt stuff. That's probably what it is. Yes. Yeah.
My dog.
You are adorable, Bella. I'm super allergic
making
to
an
you.
appearance in the show for some good reason. I don't know why. What do you want?
Attention? You absolutely know what she wants. Don't play coy.
You verified his educational background, even though you can't give us the name of the professor, and I kind of don't blame you for that. But,
yeah,
but
so
you
chat is
swear
saying
to
when
us
you
that-
take. Oh, okay, so two things. One, chat's saying when you take me off screen, they can't hear me. You monster.
Okay, so that's yeah. All right.
We'll add that to the list. Two, trivia time, Paul.
Oh, look at the alarm. I feel like when I went to the solo view, that was on purpose that we would only have, that was just so that we could.
Well, I mean, you're probably right. If I'm not on screen, why should I be? God's sake. Have a little couth, Bella. This isn't OnlyFans.
That's right. Okay, we got Bella. I got to start the. Hey, doggy, I got to start the trivia.
Give her some scritches, you monster. What are you doing here?
All right, so did this?
I'm allergic to your
start?
dog, and I feel like you should be ever more contact. Yeah, the trivia is in 5 seconds. You all know how trivia works. I'm not going to explain it by this point.
Get your trivia fingers going.
Get your trivia fingers. Do your
phrase
things.
I came up with today.
The object, which originated from outside our solar system, accelerated in ways that could not be explained by gravity, causing scientists to make up some story about hydrogen or whatever to hide the truth. Was it 1, Ziltoid, 2, Oumuamua, 3, Nibiru, or 4, Eisenfast? It was an awkwardly grammatic question, but there are limits to how long these questions can be. We have character limits like Twitter, so
they do.
I gotta. This was big international news, though. I feel like a lot of people are probably going to do pretty good here.
I didn't pay attention, so I don't know. My dog was getting my attention, which was you demanded.
I did. Have you ever heard of one of those words?
Is this? I'm going to Ziltoid.
Ziltoid is an album by Devin Townsend that is absolutely fantastic.
Nibiru, what's an Eisenfast? Oh, I don't know. How did you pronounce that again?
Oumuamua. I had to get one of those like YouTube how to pronounce things.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Funny.
That is honestly the first confirmed object from outside the solar system that came and went.
My dog is being crazy.
Your dog's always crazy.
Yeah.
It's a beagle. They're all weird.
They are weird. All right, back to the show.
Hello, Cartoon Paul.
You did talk to him, and you did verify the doctor's educational background.
Absolutely. And in addition to this particular professor, there were also 4 other professors, 5 co-students who went to the same universities, both San Diego State and UCLA. And
Shannon's outing you. You're muting your mic, but she's still letting us know that you're yelling at your dog.
I didn't mute my mic. I was just, trying to get her.
She said there was a heavy thump and whimpering. I don't know what's happening. Maybe somebody needs to call somebody.
There's some white residue now where the dog was.
Yep. Well, take some shitty negatives of it so that we can go on a speaking tour.
That's right.
We'll get our GeoCities site up.
This used to be a dog. It's not baking soda.
Also to remove odors from your refrigerator.
That's right.
Employees at the University of Washington Medical Center where he was employed. Now, all these people were very nervous because there's a disturbing call that exists at that institution regarding this case. As it turned out, he was termed persona non grata and moved out of his office surreptitiously, just like that. And the word was out that he's no longer to be talked about, and that was it. So locating these people became difficult, and to release.
That he's persona non grata because we're covering up, not because he's talking about aliens and
that's right.
This university is just like, yeah, we're not talking about him anymore. We're moving on. Yeah.
Their information was, and I thank them all for that. It was a great leap of faith. I'm going to respect that.
Well, I respect it as well. I understand this is dangerous. And if what everybody says has happened, it's extremely dangerous in more ways than one.
Yes.
Good qualifier.
In addition, I wanted to talk to a family member, and I felt that would be one way to verify that Jonathan Reed, in fact, did exist.
Sure.
And I learned that both of his parents had passed away and was given access to his closest living relatives, an aunt and uncle who live in the Seattle area.
Oh.
Very gracious and cordial people. Invited me to dinner at their home where there was countless mementos.
There's a lot of shade being thrown in the chat.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah.
I'm being outed as a dog rocker.
I was if Bella wanted a coffee table, we'd already have 3 of them in every room. Accurate.
Photos of Jonathan growing up. There were pictures of the dog. There were pictures of his graduation. There were pictures of him.
He's not wrong. There were pictures of a dog. We can verify.
There were pictures of him at graduation. So this alien must be true. Oh, you should let the timer run, I guess, for a little bit, right?
Oh, but no.
Yes. So there. Yes,
no,
that's right. Yep. There.
We got a
the
dog.
Thing was careful to show. There's pictures. There's ones of him holding the dog on his. There's See there on the deck. There's Jonathan Reed holding Sandy. Sandy was his golden retriever. Golden retrievers are beautiful dogs.
And is now just white powder.
I don't know what's the deal with his house there. It's kind of a weird, like that
A-frame.
side.
Remember,
sort of slope.
do you remember A-frame construction houses?
Yeah,
it's totally an A-frame house.
Yeah,
they don't. Well, at least
we don't see so many of them in this.
Not around these parts,
in these part of the world. No,
but they used to make them.
Other parts of the world, they're more.
But
more
you
common.
can't just look. He's got a photo of it. You can't just come up with a picture of a dog and lie about it.
Right, sort of in the very middle there, you can see a picture of Sandy on his right. It's on his desk, so clearly he had a dog. So the alien is true.
That's right.
Because if
that's the logic. That was my Jonathan McClatchy. My
Jonathan.
If one part of the document is true,
it's either 100% true or 100% false.
That's
which
how
is
we
definitely
know.
a reasonable argument and not crazy or stupid in any way. Because
in his life previous to this chance, bizarre encounter that happened.
All right.
I'm sorry.
All right. Well, then, listen. This is all really, really good. I understand why you can't reveal anything that you've learned and for what reasons other than what you're telling us right now. But what you could do is to sign a statement. You could go and get a notary, actually type up your statement and take it to a notary and get it signed. Are you comfortable enough with what you've learned to do that?
Absolutely.
Because if a notary signs whatever you're saying,
So all a notary can attest to is that you said the things.
yeah,
Like they would. That's a declarative statement. I don't know if they even do that anymore, but you can literally go and you make a statement about something. Yeah, and they sign that you said it.
you said it. This is, I'm here. I witnessed you say this.
Right, and this is gets it. This is one of the things that gets around hearsay rules in the court of
Yes.
law.
Yeah.
Is when someone makes one of these statements like this, and then they can even that person can even pass away. It's affidavit. That's the word.
Affidavit. Well, I mean, so like,
but
a
it's
notary can. Yeah, you have an
yeah.
affidavit. It's a written and in some way witnessed statement. People saw you do this. You weren't under coercion.
Right.
You've done this of your own free will. We can.
But he's not
promise,
under. If he went and did this, it's not like he's under oath.
Well, Paul, a lot of people don't know this, and I'm afraid of. Yeah, I don't want to get us demonetized. But notaries are wizards, and you can't actually lie to one.
Oh, see.
If you do, you're cursed, and demons will eat your soul. Also, demons are real. That's a totally other thing.
I mean, that goes without saying, of course. So, but like I could go to a notary right now and have a lengthy discussion about how I own a giraffe.
Yeah.
And how I feed the giraffe every day, and how they survive in my yard and whatever. And there's no consequences to me other than paying the notary fee. Like if I lied.
Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough.
That and the notary will be like, these are all the things I heard this man say about his giraffe, and here's my seal and signed. And if necessary, I will testify to this in court that I heard him say all of these things about his giraffe.
Paul from Paulogia.
By the way,
yes.
I'm really excited to visit you and see your giraffe.
My giraffe is anxious to meet you as well.
Did you know giraffes have the same number of vertebrae in their neck as human beings do?
I did know that. Did
you know the giraffes can lick their own ears?
No, but I've seen how long their tongues are, and that's it's a thing. The Calgary Zoo, the giraffe place was one of my favorite spots at the Calgary Zoo there. Giraffe paddock. Cool. I'm not sure what they call it.
You couldn't afford to get into the cool gorilla cage?
I can afford to go. The gorilla cage.
Because it's the same cost to go anywhere. I would have thought Dinosaur Park would have been your your jam there.
No, I said at Calgary Zoo. If you have to go to Calgary Zoo, the giraffe one is pretty cool.
Their African Pavilion is actually very, very cool. The Calgary Zoo is a very nice zoo. I've been to a lot of zoos. Calgary Zoo is definitely in the upper echelon of zoos.
The gorillas spend a lot of their day self-pleasuring. Is that a phrase I can say?
Yeah. And normally you got to pay to see that on OnlyFans.
And so normally I was taking young children, and so we didn't spend a lot of time.
Kids got to learn about biology sometime.
At the self-pleasuring exhibit.
Yeah.
For the
We're missing super chats left and right.
Super chats. We got one from the Ronin.
Yes.
Aliens are real. See my notary. Exactly. Yep. Makes sense. Good. Thank you for that, the Ronin. And what else do we got here? We got
Melody Kate.
Melody Kate. Go ahead, Dave.
I kind of missed the fax sound now, to be honest with you.
Melody
Kate says, you have to have ID and you have to sign the notary's book and sometimes pay $2. I'll be honest, it's been quite a while since I've had anything notarized, but I suspect you would have to pay significantly more than $2 now.
But also, this is that's their way of being, elitist. It's keeping the man down from being able to prove they're aliens. It's built into the system.
But you're right, Melody Kate. You do have to have ID, which is another. So not just anybody. You already have to be in the system,
right,
Paul?
So I do know though. Notary. I have spent time in notary places, and one of the things that's good enough. Library.
I'm sorry, you've spent time where?
In waiting in line for a notary.
Notary places.
Notary places. So
is that what you said?
Yes.
I just want to not skip past this.
So normally the places where I've gone to notaries,
the notary places,
are in Canada, at least in where I grew up, they are normally at like drugstores and stuff, or where pharmacists are. And then you
Oh,
stand
really?
in line.
Anytime
Yeah.
I've ever been to one, it's like they have like an office. It's or
Mm.
at the like City Hall or
Mhm.
like the sort of like where you go. Yeah.
Also, when I worked at, I have not mentioned on this show yet that I worked at Lucasfilm. So now we're there we go.
That's wonderful to hear, Olivia.
And because they actually, George hired someone on campus to get their notary license so that people would stop going at lunch.
Right.
To get, so that was a weird employee benefit at Lucasfilm, is you could get stuff notarized for free.
For free, because
For
there's just
free.
a notary on staff.
Because
that wasn't their job. It was just somebody
No,
on
it
staff
was-
who also
that's
was a
right.
notary. Yeah.
Hey, Olivia, she received her glass. Look, so we have had Olivia. If you are comfortable with this, I would love it if, like, on the Twitter or on the something,
Yeah.
if you're willing to send a photo
Yep.
of the glass, ideally with yourself, as much of yourself, if it's just be your hand or if your face or whatever you're comfortable, so that we can use this as, and maybe get it notarized.
Maybe. If you
So
got the
that we can-
$2.
But I feel like this is good evidence. Now we have Vishanti. I'm not sure if Vishanti's still in the chat. We have Olivia, and our first winner also. Everyone has received their product. What I'm saying is, this show is
Yeah.
on the up and up. Our winners,
Absolutely.
our trivia winners, receive their items.
Where are we going to go? Higher.
Higher. We got.
It's a joke that only
sponsors.
Paul and I gets.
You know what? It's funny because I just rolled with it like everyone should understand the reference, but no, probably
No.
not.
No, nobody grew up outside of Saskatchewan is
Miracle,
going to have
you guys
any
didn't have a-
freaking clue
What?
what we're talking about. Yeah.
Fine.
What question was that, Paul, for trivia?
I don't know.
Was that
That
5?
was-
Four?
I
don't know. I can tell you.
That was
If I
inquiry
look it up.
6. So we got 2 more.
6. So there's 2 more. I have no idea. Do you have the little? Can you pull up the standings?
But remember last time I pulled out the leaderboard and it broke the whole thing.
That's true. Don't do it.
So I'm not
Don't
going to do it this time.
Stop.
Yep.
Shannon's definitely in contention. Oh, Vishanti's still in chat.
Yep. All right. So anyway, and yes, happy April Fool's Day, y'all. For don't take anything anyone says seriously for the next little while.
Take everything I say seriously because
Well, we
It's
started
not-
this show.
not
Technically,
midnight
we
here, yeah.
started this show before April Fool's Day, so we have to tell the truth
yep,
the whole time.
couldn't
And-
publish it if it's not true.
And we will get the show notarized if need be. If it comes to that, we will get the show notarized. Maybe our sponsors at Color will help us with the cost of $2 for that.
Oh, they're definitely
I'd do it tomorrow
You would.
or today. It's
Today.
already almost dead.
I think that would be a good idea. I mean, there are, in a case like this where everything is so dangerous and everybody's so on edge, I think a signed, notarized statement from you would help in the whole trail of evidence. Even though you can't name these people, you can tell your story on paper, sign it, notarize it, get it to somebody who'll put it up on a website.
I agree with you. And in it,
Wow, if it's notarized and on a website, I don't know who could question it.
nobody.
No, and if it's on a website, you definitely cannot just find, like, say, a scan of a notary stamp, and just Photoshop that onto something. Even in '98, that would have been pretty standard Photoshop stuff.
And maybe you would add an animated GIF of a dancing baby.
Maybe.
in addition to that, some of these interviews
Oh,
were
we got a
tape
super chat.
recorded and
Oh, Jeff Cochran. But we have independent verification that the notary existed. And why would he pay a notary to record a lie about a giraffe? Well, Jonathan McClatchy probably, yes. That makes the... So I was confused until I read the end. That's right.
Yeah.
He would say, yes, absolutely. Why would you lie about a giraffe? Because that's...
Well, for shits and giggles, John, I don't know what else to tell you. Like most of the lies I tell,
Well,
they're solely to amuse myself.
but what if there was a anti-giraffe
What
people going around persecuting me
Mhm.
and putting my life in danger because I was claiming there was a giraffe? Then certainly I wouldn't go to a notary and lie about a giraffe under such circumstances.
No, that's not true.
Okay. Well, I'm going to have you handle my next resurrection debate.
Okay, sounds good.
Yep.
I feel like I would do really well. I feel like they would have a hard time debating me.
It's true. Actually, you would be very slippery.
Yeah. No, that's not right.
Nuh-uh. It's
Nah.
Yep.
Yeah. Sounds like the kind of thing a virgin would say to me.
Oh, yeah. I think
This is why I should be a politician and not an
That's right.
actual academic.
I now feel like we maybe need to have a toast-to-toast bebate night where we bring
I'll
somebody
debate
on.
any topic you want. I don't need to know fuck about anything.
All right. Well, let's put this in the works. That's a.
We'll make it happen. Yeah.
Uh-oh. Dave, look at the upper corner.
Trivia time, baby. It's trivia time, baby.
Oh, but first we'll do the super chat.
We'll do a super chat from the Ronin.
What about all the giraffe martyrs? That's right. That's what I was trying to. That's what I was saying. That if you,
Won't somebody please think of the giraffe martyrs?
that's right. All those giraffes that willingly gave their lives for what they believed in.
Well,
What?
somewhat willingly.
Somewhat willingly.
Not all of them were as willingly. Anyways,
Okay, so let's get to the trivias. I got to restart the clock here. Resume
Yeah.
the game.
we keep forgetting to let the timer.
Well, I did let it
Spoiler.
run down some. I didn't let it run down.
I'll debate.
I think if you watch this tape back,
would you and I,
after
what
we
would
get it
be, what would be a
notarized-
topic you and I could have a debate about?
Oh, there's so many. I mean, hockey topics. There would be.
Yeah, I mean I could do it, but it's like I don't actually watch.
Oh, I mean, we could
much
debate
hockey.
Marvel versus DC
Ooh, that would be a good one. That would
Yeah.
be a good one. Yeah,
because we have very different ideas about some of those things.
yeah. The Florida-based St. Lawrence Insurance Agency, a legitimate insurance company, has sold over 6,000 alien abduction policies. This $10 million policy covers you for life for a one-time payment of how much? $99.99, $5, $24.99, or $1,947, which is the year of the Roswell incident.
Ooh. Well, based on what you revealed last time, I'm going with it. You probably didn't do the outliers. You probably didn't pick based on now scoping your question rating. I'm guessing it's one of the middle numbers.
Paul,
I'm going to go with
tell
20.
you, with me,
I'm going to $25.
expect the unexpected.
Expect the unexpected.
And this is a legitimate thing. This is a real insurance company
A
in
real
Florida
thing that
has
is
been,
real.
for many years, has been selling alien abduction insurance policies.
Oh,
It's
Oh,
$24.99.
oh,
Yeah,
me
they
and
will.
only 3 people got that one right.
There we go. We bamboozled them.
Bamboozled. Which one? So people thought that the $100 seemed most reasonable.
Seemed like a good number. For
I don't know, what do the actuarial tables look like on the alien abduction?
They look pretty good for the insurance company because I believe nobody has ever claimed this ever.
Yeah. You could also, resurrection from the dead
Yeah,
insurance. Like there's a lot of
Vishanti's
things you could-
I think Vishanti's on her way to winning a second
Uh-oh.
tumbler.
Wow. Well, you know what? If you're a second-time winner, we've discussed this. You are definitely eligible for prizes.
Yeah.
And let me pause the game here. But I think if you're a second-time winner, I think you should have the option of getting the mug. Now that we have mugs,
That's fair. Yeah. For a second time winner, I will come to your house and cook you a lasagna.
wow. Okay.
You will have to pay for my trip. But I will provide the ingredients for the lasagna gratis, free of charge.
All right. What about would you do a vegetarian lasagna or an?
If that's what people want, absolutely. I'll do a vegetarian lasagna.
What about when you come visit me? Would you make me a vegetarian lasagna?
I mean, if you want.
Okay.
Is that what you want?
So here's a question: Who
Yeah.
makes better lasagna, you or me?
You. Mine's more up and down. My really good lasagnas are really good. Yours are consistently what they are.
Boom.
My best are better than yours. I more often than not,
so
mine are worse.
so
than
the
yours.
if you're saying the average Paul lasagna beats the average Dave lasagna,
yes,
but
yeah,
the best Dave lasagna beats Paul's lasagna because mine's pretty much just boom locked in.
Which is the exact fucking opposite of lasagna. Like lasagna should just be like it's one of the most dirt simple things in the world to cook. You put these things together and go. I've never copied I like the coffee in it. Paul puts coffee in his lasagna, which is a good.
It's true,
but that's the Paul lasagna, so I don't do it. I'll make you lasagna, Shannon. I'll fucking make you lasagna all damn day. Now here's what I will do, Shannon. Forget the lasagna. I'm going to make you homemade mac and cheese, which I make from scratch.
Oh,
it takes
yeah.
over an hour to cook because I do it like I make a roux where I make like a homemade cheese sauce and do it and bake it. And it is, it's so good. I make comfort food. There's a reason,
Dave.
I have this shape. It's
there's so many things. If we're having you cook, lasagna will not be the first. There's like 6 things that we would choose ahead of that for sure. Yeah.
I make a fantastic beef stroganoff. I make a really good mac and cheese. I make a lot of good things. I like cooking.
He does. Yeah, Dave makes a lot of good
Paul
things.
is also, I will say this, Paul is a fantastic cook. Paul and I could easily have like a cooking YouTube channel where it's like, both of the things we make are practical because we're both working people that like, I don't have 6 fucking hours
right. Yeah,
to make
true.
dinner. This
true.
is something you can do like in a reasonable amount of time that tastes good. Because both of us learned to cook from our moms, right? Like this is, we both have like that Collier's magazine best of bridge cookbook kind of, like like a can of mushroom soup and some things and go and you bake this and it's in 30 minutes and you have a pretty good stew.
Yep.
Anyways, thanks, Darrell.
Woot. All right, this is we have what we really this could have had a whole we could have done
so far into the weeds.
We could have done a bingo card on this, but not for
we could have done
Bell.
a
It's
bingo
just
card.
Like Paul and but it's like a Paul and Dave weird life card that we could have put up.
That's a bingo card we should make. Is the you and me just
and the
life
center
stories.
square is just like Paul mentions.
Dave tells a story about his dad.
That's
throw
right.
a story in there or whatever. Yeah, right. Yeah.
Hmm.
Although I feel like, to be fair, someone else needs to make a bingo card about our show, our hardcore fans.
Are you caught up on Mandalorian?
Absolutely.
No, I'm not. I'm actually one behind. But you saw last week's Mandalorian?
Yeah. This week's was very good. I liked it.
So the Jedi was involved with Grogu.
Yep.
I was literally on the couch, and I was like, "That's my friend."
You know?
Like,
I didn't know you were.
No, that's literally
Ahmed.
No, because I don't know if you remember, George saddled me with Ahmed during episode 2.
I don't remember, but
because George wanted Ahmed to have something to do, and he thought he would be great for the website.
Okay.
And so I had to do these video tours of the set on a regular basis.
Yeah.
And we made Ahmed the host of that.
Oh, right. Yes. Now I remember. Yeah.
And then, but George also wanted there to be always sexy girls. So it's like, you gave me Ahmed, and you also want sexy girls. It was just weird.
To be fair, if you want to do pretty well on the internet, I feel like that's what's stopping Toast to Toast from taking off.
So, this is a whole story for another time, but those BritneySpears.com, I literally was in my searches because he was like, Britney Spears, he wanted StarWars.com to be like BritneySpears.com.
So, sorry to derail your conversation, but any chance if you happen to somebody's like, you need to check out Britney Spears' Instagram because
Instagram didn't exist. But
but this is right now
okay.
because she had that whole conservatorship and this big thing.
And she's
right. So she had she routinely just is naked on Instagram and it's all over this person needs. I mean, wow. There's a lot going on. You watch that, you're just like, wow. I don't know what to think. This is a person that you would think probably needs some help. So if you go through there's just straight up naked pictures of her. I mean, not full. They'll be censored or some way because it's Instagram. But there's she kind of I don't know.
So here's what I will say in defense, and I've covered this on this very channel. So Britney Spears is now an atheist.
Okay.
she left her Christianity, which one might weirdly say, wait, she's been a Christian this whole time?
Yeah.
And yeah. During all the, whoops, I did it again, and whatever else was happening, I don't know I don't know her songs. I don't know.
Yeah.
She's so when she left theism for atheism, I kind of started paying attention. Her kids all left her
Yeah.
at that because of the atheism thing, is my understanding. And
It's
so anyway, I have some sympathy.
something, but when
Britney.
you like, I got into the rabbit hole of like reading all of the actual like captions and everything and going, and it's like, there's a lot going on there. There's a lot. This is a person that I mean, I'm not a mental health professional, and I don't want to comment, and I don't, but it's, you know, yeah. Anyways,
No, I don't think anyone is. I don't think anyone is out there saying that this is who you should model your mental health after. No, I don't think.
But I also, I remember. Did you ever watch Craig Ferguson back when he had
of course
his talk show? I
Yes.
loved Craig Ferguson.
Yes,
He had a
in fact, you know
long-
what? I think I only watched Craig Ferguson when you came to my house.
Possibly, yeah.
I think that was. how it
But
happened.
he has you can find it on YouTube easily. Remember when Britney Spears shaved her head and kind of
Yes.
went through her whole thing,
Mhm.
and there's also thing. He has a long, because he's famous. He's a recovering alcoholic and
Mhm.
going in his thing, and he's sort of like, and he has this long monologue about this in specific, but also sort of celebrity culture and some of the like the Lindsay Lohan, the TMZ things, where he's like, this is a person who needs help, who is crying out, who is obviously emotionally suffering, and we are making sport of this and enjoying this and taking delight in this misfortune because this person has money, and that somehow makes this all okay.
Right. Yeah.
You know, and he, you know, kind of thing. And he tells some stories, you know, personal stories of things he did and stuff when he was in the darkest throes of his alcoholism and different things. Right. And it's just like, it's you know, we're super getting off topic here, but
Right. I mean, yeah. So I mean, I think we both would agree that Britney's circumstances are messed up,
yes,
and not entirely of her own making.
absolutely, very little of it of her own making.
And so there's
yeah.
much empathy to be had, but that does not mean that it's also some of the things that, you know, might be happening aren't maybe noteworthy to be weird, and that and maybe cries for. I think you're right.
Anyways,
All right, we
missed
have
a
a
super chat.
now we
I
got
think.
Timothy. We got Timothy Harmon. It's
Yep.
obvious to the rest of us you want a sexy woman on Toast to Toast. Look close to home. I absolutely I have a resident sexy woman who lives.
I think he's
in my
trying.
house.
This is more. It started last week. It was my fault for bringing up my nipples. I get it, but Timothy, it's not going to happen. We want to stay monetized. I'm sorry. I need to, you know, keep some manner of decorum.
I got 2 sexy bitches that live at my house.
I hope Shannon's gone to bed.
One
'cause-
has been on camera tonight, and one has not.
I'm also. Did I show you my shirt this week? Did you see it?
Wait, look at me.
Can you see? I've had this one for quite a while, but I like this shirt.
Yeah, so that's
Yeah.
what you see in the shadows shirt.
Yeah,
That's
what we do in the shadows.
What we
Yeah.
do in the shadows shirt. I am. Are you caught up on that? I'm not. I'm
No,
not caught up.
I'm a
But
whole
I've started,
season behind.
No, but I've
yeah.
started the new season, and it is brilliant. It is.
I have not
great.
started the new season. So.
I delayed because I thought this show must have run its course.
Oh, Vishanti, you never noticed we were here talking about it. Yeah, that's. Oops, I'm not. Not
Yes.
only is it strong mad, there is strong mad and strong sad. All the brothers strong are there on my desk.
When that was happening, I remember trying to think about how I could. That was pre YouTube, the start of it. And,
yes, Homestar Runner. It's Flash. It's back when.
And I remember us actually discussing like, how can we create something that would be, you know, create the kind of buzz that Homestar
Vishanti?
Runner had.
I have a Bubs because I actually have all of the Homestar it's even here. If I ever meet you in person, I promise I will give you my Bubs figurine. I'm going to find it here and show it to you. Longtime fan of the show.
Oh, Dave's gone. Dave gone. All right, I'm going to read this super chat. My 5-year-old made sure I knew it was not Baby Yoda, but Grogu. He hasn't seen any of the show, but he's only 5. Oh, thank you, Brain Cramp.
We're just not even pretending to care about it. So I have this that I got from the official Homestar Runner merchandise store once back in the day. A box of, and there we go. There is the Bubs figurine that will be Vishanti's should we ever meet. Yeah, there you go. I met them. I met the brothers Chaps, Matt and Mike.
Oh, did you?
Chapman. They came to U of S and did a talk. And the student union paid to bring them in. And so they were at Louis and we listened. They did this whole 2-hour thing. And then I went out for drinks with them and we hung out basically all day and had
Why have I not heard this story
really
before?
good time. I don't know. You might have.
What?
Yeah. That was in the heyday of the Homestar Runner before YouTube was.
I would have been in California.
Super nice guys. Yes, you were in California at the time. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. And they were incredibly nice. They were amazed by poutine. Thought it was the greatest thing in the world. Had never heard of it because they're from, I want to say,
but
Memphis?
You gave them Saskatoon poutine.
Yes, but it's still. So it didn't have actual squeakers or anything.
Right.
It was been cheese on fries. Yeah, not just poutine, 90s Saskatchewan poutine, right? So. Mm-hmm.
All right. We're
Atlanta.
Off track.
Yes, they're from Atlanta. We're so off track. Let's get back to Art.
Back to Art.
Described, and I do retain copies of those.
Oh, you have transcriptions of the interviews?
They're in a safe location. I won't say that I have them here. No, they do exist, and they are in a safe location that I do have access to.
Art?
Yes.
Ooh, transcriptions will also very much verify all of this.
Are they notarized?
They know.
Because if they're not, I'm not interested.
Mr. McAvoy had the rare chance to interview the analysis team people in person. He met them. He talked with them.
Memo to all the analysis team people. Mm-hmm. Come meet in conference room 6 so you can chat with. What's this guy's name? I've lost track of who. Oh, there's a lot of players in this.
There's a lot of people here. We're not.
This isn't Gary.
No,
I don't remember who this is. All right,
I gotta take a bio break. I'll be right back.
Okay.
And I'd like him to say something about that.
Okay, these are the people that tested the blood and the tissue and all the rest of it?
Correct.
All right. Dan?
Yes. On about April 10th, during one of the conversations that I've had with Dr. Reed, I was given a list of 4 people who were directly involved with the ET tissue analysis. One was, of course, Harold Chacon, who had come on your show and did the preliminary work that Dan Irea had spoken about. The other one was Jonathan.
Yes, if you're joining us late, one of the players in this whole story, his name is Dan Irea.
And the other 2 were a Dr. Wessels and a Dr. Haggett, both renowned pathologists.
Also Dr. Haggett, which, I'm not proud of, but back in the 80s, that would have been currently, not a good thing, but that would have been a thing.
Just at the University of Washington. In addition to being given these names, I went out there and interviewed both of these folks in April of last year.
Mm-hmm.
Talked about what they were preparing to do, what we were looking to have them test for, giving some kind of time frame to all this. Then, as it had been previously mentioned, on June 28th, Dr. Roger Haggett was murdered in a murder-suicide in his office on the campus of the University of Washington.
There should be a record of that, of course.
And there is. It's in this. I have many press clippings from the school paper and the local papers on this. It was termed a murder-suicide, a co-worker kind of a dispute that he had with a research assistant. And then the office cleaned out, the computer is gone, The reports that were about to be released in September, which was our time frame, gone as well. Then on August 28th, 2 months to the day, the other professor at Dr. Wessel's was...
So what you missed, Dave, is that that there was some suspicious murders surrounding the case, and that it was documented in a college newspaper. So we got that down. It was in a college newspaper got this got the scoop on the murders. So they definitely happened. Oh, I can't hear you. Can the audience hear Dave? Maybe go back to the other microphone?
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
I couldn't hear you. I think my USB headset has died now. This is just a cursed.
Well,
oh, there we go. USB device not recognized. Just thank you, Windows.
Windows just decided no.
One that we've been using for the last 2.5 hours. Nah, I don't know what that is. Let's try this.
You're still on the Windows 98, I assume.
Yeah, I'm not upgrading to Windows XP. It's a money grab. Nope, it's just not.
Yeah, if you're only a single user, you don't need XP.
There's like an actual light on my.
Oh no!
God damn it. Okay.
Well, unfortunately, the hum that was here earlier seems to not be there.
Okay, well, then we're gonna stick here.
So let us know in the chat because let us know how Dave sounds.
Used to be device not recognized.
Hopefully sultry.
My darling, I can't get enough of your love. Boom.
If we let you sing any more of that, we're going to get a copyright strike. So
that's fair.
Accident. It reportedly happened in the same mountainous vicinity and area in Washington, D.C., where Dr. Reed's encounter had taken place. The thing that concerned me is, it concerned me a great deal that I had interviewed these people. They were not willing to go on tape record and transcript of the interviews. But I can assure you that, and assure everyone else that, they were spoken to, and it was an extremely disquieting feeling to get the word that both of them were now passed away.
Yeah, I hope people in the audience can begin to understand why everybody's scared to death of this story and scared to death of public exposure, because there have been too many deaths all around it. No question about it.
Yes.
All right. And
no question about it, because the college newspaper got the story on this. So for sure.
Well, and they're
well, the thing is, if you're like the mainstream paper, you can't be expected to cover every murder.
No. I mean, it depends where you live. In the city I live in, they do cover every murder because we have 6 murders a year.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, yeah, I didn't catch exactly where this was
in
happening.
New York City or Chicago, right? They're not going to cover every murder because there's 20, so they can't spend half the weeks in the year talking about murders.
That's right, exactly. This is what I'm saying. So we leave that. We leave that to the college papers because that's what they're known for.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Hard biting journalism.
Mm-hmm. Uh-oh. You see up in the corner there?
Uh-oh.
Ruh-roh.
Is this number 7 now, Ron?
This will be number 7. So let me get that started.
Whoa, it's do or die time.
Let me take the clicker, the timer off there. We got a couple seconds. This will be the clutcher. This is the penultimate question. Here we go.
The first search for extraterrestrial intelligence experiment, SETI, began in 1960 at the National Radio Astronomy Observatory. What fictional character was this project named after? Pythia, the Oracle of Delphi, Princess Ozma of Oz, John Carter of Mars, or Don Quixote?
Okay, the SETI began. What fictional character? So that's not obvious because SETI.
So there is no like specific SETI. People use it, but there's been a number of projects, things that have fallen under the umbrella.
Okay. Well, I'm just going number 2 because I like it. Because
You
Princess
like it?
Ozma of Oz is a great reference. Because I read all the weird Oz
All the Frank
books.
Baum. They
Yeah,
get
I
weird.
did. And they do get weird. And
They're
I
actually pretty good. I
loved
like
them. I wish they had done movies of more of those. But Princess
Yes.
Ozma of Oz, just because I don't know if it's right. Oh,
It
look at
is
that.
Project Ozma in 1960 because Dorothy uses a radio to communicate with Princess Ozma in one of the Oz books. I can't remember, and so that was the justification.
Okay.
So the Project Ozma was to use a radio to try to listen for extraterrestrial intelligence.
But how is SETI named for connect these dots for me, Dave, because I don't get it.
So SETI stands for Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence, right?
Yeah.
So there have been, so that's kind of the umbrella term, but
Okay.
there is no specific. So Project Ozma was, I think it was Cornell University. I can't remember. There was a specific university, we're starting Project Ozma. We're getting radio telescopes and we're listening for if there's intelligent life out in the galaxy, they will be producing mechanical radio waves that we can recognize as not natural. And there's been a number of these projects. It's ongoing now. There are certain things doing this. SETI is the kind of umbrella term that just means, but there is no actual project or organization. SETI doesn't actually refer to anything official. It's more it's kind of like saying it's a civil engineering project. It's okay, but what is that actually that's just the broad umbrella this falls under. That's not an actual, there's no government organization or even private organization that raises funding that's called SETI. It's just the search for it's the umbrella term that all of these things that fall
So
under.
you weren't saying that the name SETI
No.
is connected to Ozma. You're
The-
saying
the
that
first-
the project that eventually became SETI.
The first recognized SETI project,
Gotcha.
SETI in this case is a term that means the search for extraterrestrial intelligence,
Yeah.
specifically through radio telescopes that were listening for radio signals in space. That is what SETI refers to. Is the first acknowledged project that was something called Project Ozma.
Right, but let me say this again. The word SETI is not related to Ozma.
No.
The project that became SETI
Yes.
was originally called Ozma.
Yes.
I figured it out. I got it. Cool.
Yeah.
Now, also, I want to say that John Carter of Mars is an underrated film.
I agree with you. I actually like John Carter of Mars. Yeah.
It's a very yeah. I wish we had our old show. We should resume our old show maybe.
I mean, we can. We might do a special. You and I have enough.
Yeah.
We talk about that.
So because underrated like a show that was just talking about what are some underrated movies. I don't know if it makes a top 10 list, but John Carter is underrated. So there you go.
Yeah.
That would maybe go under a category of movies that were shit on. I think we're at 3 hours in, or whatever long way. I can swear now. So yeah,
I've already been swearing quite a bit.
I know you have been, but
Yeah. But that's me.
That's you.
That's
Potty
what
mouth,
creepy YouTube
Potty
videos
Mouth Dave.
I like.
Yeah, no, anyway, we'll let's go back to the
See, Kevin Hitch has it nailed. SETI is a type of project. The first such project was SETI is the type of project. There is no current project called SETI.
I understand now. That elucidates even further. That's excellent.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to think of a parallel example, but it makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. So like I said, so it's SETI is analogous to civil engineering or some kind it's a field of study. It's not a specific thing.
No.
Yeah.
So here's the analogy. So SETI is analogous to saying AI.
Yes.
Excuse me.
Or the cloud.
Right, but ChatGPT.
Yes, is an actual specific example.
Is a project that is an AI project.
Yeah.
There you go. Okay.
Yes.
I got it.
So Ozma was the first SETI project.
Gotcha.
And there are different SETI projects still carrying on to this day. None of them are called SETI. They are SETI projects.
Gotcha.
And they're all kind of umbrella. Everybody within the field knows like this is SETI is what we call it. Yeah. Tron Legacy. Yeah. I have there's parts of Tron Legacy I love. I don't know if I love the whole, like, I feel like you could probably cut 40 minutes out of that movie and it would have been a much better movie.
I don't know that it was, I guess, underrated as well, because it actually got pretty positive reaction at the time.
Yes.
Mainly because of the Daft Punk. I feel like it was mostly because of the soundtrack.
The soundtrack's very good. Well, and Vijanti makes a very legitimate criticism. She's right. I'll try and do better next time. Honestly, now looking back on it, I'm pretty disappointed with the trivia this time. I think I did a very poor job of writing trivia questions. A lot of them were like guess the number. It's not yeah.
So have you ever asked ChatGPT to write the questions for you?
I have not, because I refuse.
Okay. Because that way, I'm glad you didn't, because we're purists on this show.
Yeah.
But although purists, I mean, I was mainly curious. Like, let me give it a transcript of last time, seeing what.
I thought that went quite well.
Like what kind of, that was a pretty nonsense show.
Yeah. But it did a good job.
Yeah.
Yeah. We got a super chat there.
Oh, we got a super chat.
Yeah.
All right. This is just because I love the facts ping. Thank you, Jeff. Appreciate you.
We love it too. Maybe we should throw this out to chat. Would you enjoy watching an entirely different YouTube channel in which Paul and I discuss popular culture? Let us know, because we used to have one. Technically, we still do.
Technically, we still have one. We haven't.
I don't know if we would resurrect the old channel. Would we just start a brand new channel? But
yeah, that would be to be discussed. And would it be? It probably wouldn't be a toast to toast channel. That the point would be, because we're going to discuss other things. So
yeah.
All right, yeah, the kind of videos that we tried to do, like the stuff that we ended up doing, which were the heavily researched videos.
Yes,
that's not what we would want. This would be more.
No. All of our most popular videos on that channel were, none of my favorite videos were our most popular videos.
No.
And I have a couple that I still have sort of saved that are like still the dearly loved ones, but they're like some of our least viewed, but they're like, these are the ones I enjoyed. But we, much like we did with this show, and we'll throw this out as advice. So Paul and I, when we started doing it, we're like, we're going to do what we want to do, what we enjoy. And if people like it, and it gets success on YouTube or the internet or social media, whatever, fantastic. If it doesn't, we don't care, because we're doing what we want to do and we're enjoying doing it. Much in some ways like this show, right? We do the show we want to do. And if it does well, great. We're glad you're all here and you enjoy it with us. If you don't, well, we're not going to change what we do to cater to the algorithm or whatever thing. We'll do our algorithmically unviable show and see what happens. Yeah.
Unlike what I do on the normal time, which is I'm just a whore to the algorithm. That's
but we all got to pay the bills, right? I mean, I got my day job too, which has nothing to do with YouTube, but it's certainly not what I dreamed of being when I was a kid. But pays the rent.
All right. We have a couple super chats that came in.
Super chats all over.
Brain Cramp writes, fun fact, the dial-up sound is actually alien language, because all our tech is reverse engineered from Roswell. Interesting. The handshake sound, that's cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Just aliens saying hi.
Mm-hmm. Timothy Harmon writes, yes, with an exclamation. There's an exclamation. You can't just use an exclamation mark willy-nilly.
No, he's genuinely excited about this.
That's right. It's just like you can't just get a notary to certify things.
Nope.
It's the certification. Popular culture videos. All right. Well, Timothy says yes. We'll see.
The Shanty says, what was I can't even remember what the chat robot read, the square.
The black hole. It was whacked, I believe was the
whacked. Right. It was like colon whacked or something like that. So yeah.
Yeah. So also let us know that so we've moved away from the computer reading the super chats because I think we all agreed that was just too weird.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
So, but let us know how you feel about the fax machine.
I mean, I like the fax machine personally.
I do too. I'm enjoying the fax machine.
That's what's made it extremely difficult to investigate, and I think that's part of the plan is to cast a pall over people who will potentially report these experiences.
Daniel, what's
I'm a Paul. I've not been cast.
Oh, that was the last question, by the way, Paul. So I don't know. Like,
what?
We're done.
No. Was that 8?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
There's
hold
no
on.
more. There's no more questions.
Hold on. All right. Well, let me resume the game then, so that we can get the winner.
I didn't write any more questions. I was out of ideas. Yeah, get your glasses on, nerd.
I know. I can barely. Yeah. The game chat is
Let's see who wins the coveted.
Is it not? Why is it not going? Oh, there we go.
Oh, there we go. Oh, there we go. Someone new.
All right, so we got a Scuzzbopper.
Scuzzbopper with 6 questions correct.
Congratulations, Scuzzbopper. And this is actually this is a low like we've had perfect scores. Actually, kudos to your poorly worded questions, Dave.
I mean, there was definitely some that was like, there's no way on God's green earth anyone's going to know this. It's just guessing. You know what I mean? Like,
sure.
Nobody knows the movie The Flying Saucer. Was it? Yeah. Yeah. Does that make it clever? Is that a good question writing? I don't feel like
I don't know.
Yeah.
But
you ever did Apples to Apples, Paul?
It's in my I have there's a copy of Apples to Apples like 12 feet away from me. Yeah.
There's another
it's Cards for Against Humanity is the same game.
Yeah. No, there's a game literally that I'm trying to remember the name of it. Snake Oil. It's a betting game. Like you have a table where it'd be like the questions are all numbered. It's like how many feet long is the Golden Gate Bridge? Right. Or how many inches long is the Golden Gate Bridge, right? Where it's like nobody knows the answer.
Right.
But you go but what you actually do, so everybody writes their answers and you put them on a card. And it's on like a little whiteboard. It'd be like 100, whatever the people put, and you bet chips on what you think is the closest to the real answer. So it's more of a betting game than a.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Anyways, that's what we were doing tonight. Long story short, they weren't great questions, and I feel a little embarrassed about them. But next time we'll do better.
But that does not take away from the achievement of Scuzzbopper.
No, Scuzzbucket is a legend.
Scuzzbopper, Dave.
Scuzzbopper. Fuck. I'm blowing it. I'm embarrassing.
All right, so Scuzzbopper, you should message me
Scottish beer.
Message me in a comment and or Paul at paulogia.com.
But mostly in the YouTube comment because that helps us with the algorithm.
You can message me and we will figure out a way to
wagers?
get you.
Kevin Hitch knows it. Yes, that's exactly the game I'm talking about. Sorry.
Don't be sorry.
Yeah.
We just want to make sure that that Scuzzbopper is one of the happy people who gets their tumbler.
Glassy glass.
Which again, we are now we have
Vishanti has picked up on your joke.
Perfect. I was waiting for it's been weeks that I've been on this.
It's been weeks.
Finally,
you've thrown the illuminated and sheeple up there, and nobody comments on it. Well, to be fair, probably a lot of people have commented on it, and we just didn't notice.
But it's it's all about us, Dave. So my glass is almost empty. We have 6 more minutes of Art Bell to get through. So I think can we power through, Dave? You and I.
Absolutely.
All right, 6 more minutes.
I literally just poured a fresh beer. So
well, that's what I was thinking. Should I pour a fresh drink? I think the answer is yes. All right,
I mean, I just
go back to yes.
You want to be cool like me, don't you?
Well, we don't condone necessarily unnecessary drinking, but there's no such well.
Yeah.
I do want to be cool like you, Dave. So, but I realize
that's what we want to hear. All the cool kids are doing it, Paul. Pour another drink.
I have a few sips of my really, really good rum that I haven't finished yet.
So well, finish that off.
Yep. All right.
I mean, my
cheers.
Good rum is.
Cheers to everyone who played the trivia with us tonight.
Cheers to everybody who played trivia. This show has been We'll do better next time. Thank you, Brain.
I've spent about 15 years in ufology. I'm a member of
No, the cool kids say ufology.
Yeah. He's 15 years studying ufology.
And frankly, I think
Ufology.
this is probably like a shibboleth test for them.
Also, I'm just gonna say grammatically, that's bullshit. It's not ufology, it's UFOology. Right? Like you're okay, like I get it, whatever.
Right. But what I'm guessing is this one of those, you know what I mean by shibboleth test, right?
No, that's a word you made up.
It is not. Vishanti will back me up on this. So
yeah, your little minion there, you're admin. I can't take that testimony.
So it's basically a test
for our debate.
It was initially a test among Jewish army camps.
I was going to say it sounds like a Hebraic word.
Yes, it is a Hebraic word, and it's not a special meaning, but it was pronounced differently in different regions.
I see.
And so when they would want to test whether someone was a spy or potentially what region was from, they would try to get them to say the word shibboleth. And I'm probably not saying it correctly or whatever.
But maybe you are, depending where you're from.
Right, depending where you're from, you would pronounce it differently one way versus another, and then they would immediately be able to use that as a test of what, like, because it's one of those things you're not going to study for it or whatever. Like it wasn't widely known that it was the test, right? So it was just, any kind of test where like a local would say X, but if you just like studied it,
right,
and came in, you probably wouldn't know that the weird way that the locals do a thing is a thing.
Is it like the old Inglorious Bastards, the Quentin Tarantino, where he holds up like the German 3 versus the American?
Exactly. That's exactly
fingers,
what it is.
Right? It's like,
so I'm guessing. I just feel like ufology, or if someone comes in and says I'm a UFOology, it's probably one of those things that like people who are in like. In the club, the in-group, like, give the eye roll. It's like, yeah, this is an outsider. This isn't
guy
one of us.
He's not one of us.
Yeah.
One of us.
One of us. See, people are learning new things. Right to the end, we're educating the audience and ourselves.
I feel like people could learn a lot watching this show.
I'm associate with the Center for UFO Studies. I'm a member of Bud Hopkins Intruder Foundation. I've reviewed hundreds of cases in this field. I like cases of high strangeness, so that's where my interest is focused. Prior to that, I spent a number of years in the military as a paratrooper in an airborne reconnaissance unit. Okay. I'm qualified in Arctic warfare, jungle warfare, small arms, and small unit tactics. Participated in both real world and training missions.
This is big dick energy stuff going on right now.
Yeah. I was thinking the exact same thing. That's like, yeah. All right.
Yeah. I'm alpha male, Art. Don't.
In my head, I was thinking the whole time. It's like I'm a huge fucking deal in this incredibly narrow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. This thing that nobody in the real world cares about. Yeah.
Don't you know who I think I am?
Don't you know who I think I am? Also, am I like super red to you? Man.
You're a little bit.
My lighting? I'm a little red. I don't know. Boy, this show, Paul.
We'll chalk this one up. So the audience has learned a bunch, and we are learning things as well. And part of that is we're learning some production things that have gone terribly, horribly. So
yeah, but I don't think we're learning anything.
I guess if you say is the mark of learning that is the mark of learning that it'll be better next time, then no, we're learning nothing. But you know, I like to think that on this show we tend to make different mistakes each week.
I like to think the real truth is the friends we made along the way.
The real production errors are the friends we made along the way.
Yep. The real production value. We don't need crane shots. The real crane shots are the friends we made along the way. Yep.
that's basically.
All right. Well, that answers your ufology background. Answers why you went to Laughlin. And
See, Art gets it. Ufology.
Yep. Ufology.
Art
Well, they've said it on the
passes
show a
test.
couple times. Yeah, that's
No one needs to shoot Art in the chest.
no.
how you got entangled in all this.
I feel like next time, if I try and have ChatGPT summarize this, it's going to complain that I was talking about shooting her in the chest. So that's.
I feel like
In the first place.
ChatGPT is a lot it could complain about. Long
He
tangents.
also has witnessed and seen and documented the bullet wound through my shoulder.
Yes, we're not going to have time to tell that story this hour. We'll get it out next hour because I really want to finish up with Daniel. Daniel, you've contributed a lot here. I think you're signing that statement and getting it notarized and getting it up on a website would be a really grand idea. And I hope you do that.
I will do that.
I hope you do it soon. And is there anything else you want to add?
Well, there are some other things that we found out that if we have time to talk about, one was an interesting anomaly about how they tracked Dr. Reed. We found a transponder implant located in one of his front teeth.
In one of his teeth?
In one of his teeth.
That's something. There's 3 minutes
What?
left in the show, and we're bringing up
What?
transponders in the teeth.
What? Okay. That's how they
In the
track.
front, during
They tracked him through.
Through a chip in his tooth.
Like late
Okay.
90s, there was no way there was a transponder that fit in your tooth.
I'm willing to grant that. Okay, I'm willing to grant that the
Okay, let's go with
government
it.
has
We'll go with
access,
it. Okay.
right? Military level
And
tech,
or
right?
alien tech. We don't
Yeah.
know.
But like, if you're gonna plant a transponder on somebody, like real talk time, okay? I'm gonna put a chip on you somewhere, an RFID chip, a transponder chip. Is there anywhere, potentially, the eye, like a worse place than a tooth, where it's like, how do you slip this on somebody without them knowing? It's like, it's your goddamn tooth. There's no way you can get into this. It's going to cause constant pain. There's so many places on your body you could put it where you wouldn't feel it. Am I wrong? Am I crazy?
I gotta disagree. So again, if it's gonna be like most of the size of a tooth,
Dune reference, Vishanti. Good. Anyways, yes, the size of the tooth. But he said one of his front teeth. Like, your front teeth are not.
Oh, front teeth. Oh, because I was thinking molar.
He said one of his
again-
front teeth. He specifically said one of his front teeth.
Well, let me roll with it. If it was molar sized,
Yeah.
then I feel like, and also probably needed to.
Even molar. Let's go with you. I'm gonna grant you that.
Okay.
Okay, we're putting a transponder in your molar.
Mm-hmm.
Like, have you ever had a crown or significant
Yes.
dental work done on your molar?
Yeah.
Did you not feel it for days after?
Yes, that is correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're
So, like,
not
I'm like,
wrong.
how do
Yeah,
you
that's
get a
true.
transponder into somebody's tooth?
Okay, now I
without
understand
them-
your
Yeah.
objection, because I was thinking, like, long term, it's a great place to put it, because long term, it's.
Oh yeah, no. You can do it, and it would be.
But you
in
would need to
theory,
knock
it would-
that person out for the number of, like, at least a couple of days. You're right.
Yeah. Like, how do
Yeah.
you do this and not have somebody realize that they have had oral surgery done? You have so many nerves in your mouth. Your teeth are so sensitive. This is like, speaking
All right,
as somebody who has a gold cap on one of my teeth where they didn't do a root canal, and I
Oh.
constantly feel this gold, any kind of temperature or anything is like, I instantly feel it. And there's, and I've had a lot of dental work done. And it's like, you feel it. You instantly, like, it, there's no way. Yeah.
You won me over. I was going to argument, but I was, because I was thinking more size wise.
He had me on the side with the notary. Now
Yeah.
I'm like, wait a minute. Maybe.
Wait a minute.
What if, Paul?
Yes, Dave.
What if none of this is true and all of this is being made up?
You sheeple.
let me posit a alternative reality for you, wherein his dog wasn't killed by an alien, and he doesn't have an actual alien that came alive in his freezer, and then the government came and smashed his house, and all of this is being made up.
That sounds. Do you know how ridiculous you sound right now?
Now, I admit that in this scenario, he would have had to somehow fake a notary.
Just look at this. You got to fake a notary.
He would have had to fake a notary.
That picture of his dog. I don't know how you explain that. There was on his desk. There was a picture of a dog.
Yeah.
There's. There are.
Yeah.
There are verified. Someone has certified these negatives as actually being negatives.
See, Tim. So there's some super chats here that we got.
All right, we got super chats. We got the first one from
Stagnu Morte. Dave, get your tooth looked at. See, I actually am overdue to see the dentist. I have feelings about the dentist. I don't even know if Paul knows this. When I was a child, none of my baby teeth were coming out naturally.
Oh.
The roots weren't decaying away and they weren't falling, so they had to pull all of my baby teeth.
Oh, this is news to me. I did not know this.
When I was like, how old are kids when baby teeth come out?
Like 6, 7, 8.
6, 7, right? So what they did was they pulled all the teeth on half of my face so that I could still chew food, and then like 6 weeks later did the other half. And they just pulled them all. And it didn't go well, and I have some very definite impressions about the dentist leading back to that. There's other stories. I've been to the dentist. I go to the dentist regularly. I haven't been for like more than a year, so I actually am overdue to go to the dentist and get my teeth checked out and go. I've had my jaw broken and moved. I've had retainers. I've had braces. I've had the full. Me and the dentist are not on good terms. You know, there's a whole thing going on there. But I have nice straight teeth now.
Do you does the place where you work, does it offer a dental plan?
Yeah, it does. Okay. Yep. Like it's not even money. Like I could go.
Yeah, no.
Covered.
Same with me. Yeah, I also have similar issues. We'll talk about offline sometime. But yeah,
sometime. I just threw them out here on the internet. Yeah.
No, I'm not. Yeah, I'm not.
I'll tell you though, I got some pretty good Lego sets out of the deal for my parents because I was like, "We'll give you, here you're home." But yeah, that was a thing that happened to me. All of my baby teeth had to be like actually pulled by like pliers out, pulling. Yeah.
So I have when we're offline, I'll have a little story to tell you that's similar, but we'll figure that out later. And but also the thing that I kept thinking is Lisa needs braces. Dental plan. Lisa needs braces. Dental plan. That's just the instant thing that I think of. We're missing some more super chats. So we got Timothy Harmon.
Yes.
Oh no! You guys are focusing on believability.
Oh
now. Okay, we're focusing. Harmon, I get it.
I know you're a longtime watcher. We had some pretty good when we were doing our Bigfoot debate. Paul and I had a little bit of a, loggerheads about the believability of the. I was suggesting that this was perhaps not true and this person hadn't shot a Bigfoot. And Paul came back at me pretty hard.
Yeah.
He is a master debater. Yeah. Brain crap.
Brain crap says you guys you just have to choose to believe. That's right. It was where if there's one thing I'm known for, it's knowing that it's for my claim that people just choose whatever they want to believe.
Yeah. Truth is what you choose for it to be.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And if you want to believe that that I have a giraffe in my yard, I just choose to believe that one way. That evidence is irrelevant. All right, we got a couple more minutes. Let's finish this off.
There's a lot of dentist talk happening now. And I want to say clear. I am pro dentist. I think people should go to the dentist. You should go twice a year. I think dentists are great. I just personally have a little bit of trauma involved with dentists, and I have sometimes a hard time going to one. But
this comment would be better if it said rabid anti-dentite.
Rabid, you're a rabid anti-dentite.
You probably think they should have their own schools. They do have their own schools. Yeah, rabid anti-dentite.
Yeah.
Also, my sister is a dentist, so there's that.
Yes, and she's a wonderful person.
She is.
Yeah, and I've had I've had fantastic dentists throughout my life, and still do. Big fan of the dental profession. Think it's a great thing. So everybody should get their teeth checked.
Maybe maybe you can look into see if the dental industry is willing to sponsor our show for one of these upcoming.
Yeah, they got money because they're fucking thief. Anyways, moving on.
Moving on.
One of his abductions by the dark side.
Where is this now?
We've got it.
We have it.
You've got it?
Absolutely.
We have pictures of this device, and I was able through retired CIA connections and NSA connections to find out exactly what the device was and to get a fact sheet on this particular device.
Are we going to get some information on it?
Absolutely.
How?
It will be posted on the website.
On the website.
I'm sure probably as early as tomorrow.
Which website?
On the aliendestiny.com website.
All right. That's not Dan Iria's?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So you obviously have become friends with Dan Iria.
Yes, we work closely because of trying to compile a casebook on this. His responsibility of photographic review of the evidence and some of his expertise as an engineer is.
Okay, so what artifact are they talking about here?
They're talking about the tracker in his tooth.
The which?
The tracker in his tooth.
Oh, right,
tooth
tracker. That's why I'm a dentist.
Goddamn 20-minute tirade about dentists.
Right, yeah, okay. So
he has a tracking chip in his tooth.
I don't see anything on this website about dental.
Well, I mean.
Oh wait, but here's Susie's white residue. Found it.
Oh, there we go. Because this snapshot was from like 2001 or something.
Yeah.
So, I mean, also this is all made up. So
what?
Who knows? I mean, I don't know how to spin this.
Yeah. So hold on. So I'm looking for.
Oh, we
don't
got
have anything about.
John, well, John Hunter, thank you for the donation, but there's no super chat associated with it. It's just straight.
Thank you, John. Appreciate
$4.99. Hey, thank you, buddy.
I don't see anything about it. He didn't come through on this promise of having things on the website about the tooth. This is unlike the folks involved with the alien in the freezer.
You can't trust anybody, Paul.
Come in quite handy in terms of the investigation.
All right, Daniel, we're woefully short of time. I'm going to thank you for being here.
Was that who?
I did see an editorial about red blood cells and DNA.
Oh.
On the website.
Okay.
Look, just carry on.
Okay.
Thank you for bringing all of this, and we'll look for the documents.
Absolutely.
All right. Take care.
Thanks so much.
All right. Hopefully we're doing the right thing here. Hold on. Let me, as you can hear, it's beginning to sound a little weird. So let me hit hold and go back, and I think that'll clear it up. All right. Robert, are you there?
I am.
All right, good. And Jonathan, you still there?
Hello.
Dr. Reed?
I got it.
Okay, good. Gentlemen, before this hour is out, I'm saying I want to give you a chance to promo your book. You've got a book. Are you going to get the video out?
So, I was like, at this point, if Jonathan Reed is using like a satellite phone in the 90s, that was expensive as hell.
Right. Yeah, that like per minute.
So
that was
just sitting there racking up minutes listening to some Yahoo.
Right, exactly. Some guy he met at a convention.
Yeah.
Who knows a notary. I know
Reed is still around. He's still
I know we got a couple of minutes here, and they're going to plug the book, which once again, it's like, well, we start there saying, well, we didn't want to talk to anyone who had financial interest in the story.
Yeah.
But now
we got living now, Paul. He's on the run.
But now we got got a book to sell. I know we got a few minutes. We got a minute left in the or so.
Yeah.
This was not part 2 was not as satisfactory as part 1.
No, part 1 was much better.
Part 2 was a lot of stuff about paperwork.
I mean, we had a lot of fun and a lot of his friends dying and an Auschwitz
Yeah, that's true.
reference that was incredibly jarring.
Right.
And not
But very little discussion of Alien as a burrito.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Number
Anyway,
1 was a lot better. I feel like I think, Paul, the thing that you and me and our family and our friends that are here with us today can take away.
Yes.
This is a learning experience. We're moving on. You know, some things happened. We're gonna do better. I'm gonna buy a new XLR cable. Right, thanks to Phil. Fantastic. We're gonna come back next time. Next time the trivia is gonna be better. Probably there isn't gonna be trivia next time. Don't hold me to that, because we can't do trivia every week. There's only so many facts in the world. People, just chill the fuck out.
Also, only so many mugs that our show can afford to send out to people.
Yeah. If you all super chatted more, we could do more, but you don't. So really, this is on you. Really, is that how you succeed in YouTube, Paul? Do you just
threaten the audience?
Threaten the audience, make them belittle them?
Try and blackmail them and make them feel small. Yeah, that's what we want to do.
That's good advice, Doc Tucson. Don't eat rhubarb leaves. You're not wrong about that. Paul and I both are very familiar with rhubarb.
Yep.
A lot of rhubarb wherever I go. By the way, love rhubarb.
My previous house, that's one of the things I miss about my previous house is that there was a crop of rhubarb every single year.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm guessing rhubarb isn't big where you.
It's not where I am now. So no, I used to be lousy with the stuff, and now it's like I
to go. It's a freaking weed.
It's a weed.
Anybody who has it is like, I will give it away like crazy because you can't kill it. It's like horseradish. Well, I can bring you a couple. Someday I'll bring you some bags of.
Well, when you come with us, you can. Well, I guess it won't be rhubarb season.
Spoiler alert! Don't let people know.
You've already been talking about lasagnas and shit, so.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah, I'm sooner or later I'm going to visit Paul. It's going to be exciting. Maybe that'll be the launch of our new channel. Our pop culture or old channel. I don't know.
All over the world. I have traveled to 14 countries and met privately with many, many groups showing this evidence and gaining some kind of support. It is going to be publicly shown starting in the next few months.
All right. As far as the book is concerned, it's called Link, an Extraterrestrial Odyssey. I'm going to make you guys promo it here. It's $25. How do people get it if they want to read?
Oh, we got a super chat from Mel. Melly. Donating a mug. Well, thank you for the
Thank you so much. We appreciate the chat.
Yes.
Mugs are more than $3. I'm sorry to break this to you. That is not going to
I didn't want to be the one to say it, but yeah,
I'm going to say it because I value the truth. We love you and we appreciate the $3 super chat so much. Legitimately.
This is
that's not buying a mug for anybody.
It's 10% of a mug.
It's 10% of a mug.
Yeah. So that's good. I'm better
in this economy? Are you kidding me?
That's right.
The whole story with all the details. How do they get the book?
Well, they can order it by phone at 1-800-905-8367.
8367. That's 1-800-905-8367.
Remember those days? And I was always driving when I was listening to Art Bell. I was 80% of the time it was because I was driving. I commuted late at night and it was a whole thing. You never could write down the number. It was always tricky. No. They would give the number and there's no way to.
And it was the internet didn't exist.
No.
If you didn't catch it,
I mean, they had a website now, but
this AM radio show is gone forever.
Right. Yeah. You couldn't go home and there was no PVR for it that you.
No. Yeah. Although in this particular case, they mentioned several times the website, so you could go on.
Right, but it's weird that it's how do we get the book? Like they've mentioned, they've been shilling for this stupid website. Every second sentence, like it is clearly like we just mentioned our website. But no, how do you get the book? No, we got a phone number.
Oh,
It's good. Kind of funny.
yeah. People like you all the people in the chat, you do not understand how amazing this mug is. How life-changing, how revolutionary. Like you'll be the envy of everyone.
So one of the things that I don't know if you talked
Look
about
at it. Look at this goddamn mug. That's the best mug that money can buy.
So one thing, it actually retains the temperature of the drink as you put it in there.
Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely.
It's alien tech, frankly.
I mean, I feel like we could drag up the old promo for mugs and play it. I think it was like our second ad we ever did or something like that. But
Also,
it's really good.
I do think if you use promo code, what's our
Toast to toast.
The toast to toast promo code, I think you can get it for significantly less than $30.
That wonderful promo code. That's you can use in all kinds of places. So many ill-defined. Oh shit! That's what I forgot to put in the color ad. There was no extra thing that you got. The promo code toast to toast. Damn it! This show has been a fucking disaster from tip to top. You know,
chimpanzee to chimpanzee.
Chimpanzee. Yeah, well, John Hunter, that's an excellent question, and there is an answer to it.
Yes. Hold on.
I will read the chat because Paul just left without a word. I want a For the Bible Tells Me So glass to drink whiskey. Where do I get one? Well, there is an answer. You get one at, I don't know the link to your merch store, Paul.
It's
You're gonna have to do something here,
it's
for
like
fuck's sake.
teespring.com/Paulogia. Look in the description of the video. It's in the description.
Teespring.com/Paulogia.
Or something like that. Yeah.
Look, just goddamn Google it. You're not a child.
No, just the description of this video. It's linked in there. We're good.
The fact that you're here, John Hunter, with us watching this shows that you are a person of refined taste and intellect. And I have no doubt that you can find Paulogia's merch store where he sells For the Bible Tells Me So glasses. I've seen them myself.
That is correct.
Yeah.
All right. Let's finish this thing off.
Yeah, I think we're pretty much done.
67. Is that a 24-hour number or what?
Yes, it is. And there's people there right now.
There's people there now. 1-800-905-8367. Read about it in detail for $25.
Yeah.
Or I presume probably off the website.
We could hire 24-hour staff to man this phone line. Because this is back in the days before, computers could answer phones.
Exactly. The alien abduction business, the alien killing business, alien the freezer business.
Yep.
It's pretty good.
Doing well.
Also write to P.O. Box in care of Link at 1600 Seattle, Washington 98116.
Give that again because people are never ready.
That's right. So, yeah. So they were very afraid of letting the government know where they are. But also, here's our P.O. box.
Here's our P.O. Box. Yeah.
Where we will be coming and collecting your checks on a regular basis.
Give it again because people are never ready. See, art season.
P.O. Box 16007, Seattle, Washington 98116.
All right. And one more time around here with the phone number to order the book. It's 1-800-905-8367. Gentlemen, hold on. We'll do one more hour, all right?
Thank you.
Thank you, Art. Stay right there. This is Coast to Coast AM.
All right.
Shanty's posting the link to your merch store.
Look at that. And I can put it on the screen, but that helps no one. You can't click on the screen.
No, you can't click on the screen.
No. Click on the link.
Give me. It's already have his address.
All right. So that was the end of the show. So I know Art there said we'll talk about it next hour. The hour from this show the last hour doesn't seem to exist on the internets. So what has happened was they came on a few years later and gave a update. So if I don't know, let us know. Like, are you still intrigued by the alien in the freezer story?
I'll be honest, the second hour didn't enthrall
It
me.
did not like so. And as I think we've mentioned this before, we don't pre-screen the show because we don't want to.
We want to react to it like you do.
We want to react to it like you guys would react. So we didn't know that this was going to be mostly about Notary
Get in the
Republic's.
comments.
Get in the comments. Get in the
Yeah.
give us let us know. Do you want part 3 of the alien in the freezer?
Because
Or
there is
do we-
more.
There's
Yeah.
more, but there are also many great Art Bell episodes that we have not explored yet.
No, so many. There's
Like
still a whole bunch
hundreds,
of Mel's
hundreds of
Horror
thousands.
never hit.
So
There's a sequel to the Bigfoot.
right,
the
but
actual
I
Bigfoot
meat
story.
but there's
There's
also
just
first
straight
time
up
things. So
stuff we've never touched.
yeah, so there's like Bart Ehrman is on the show at some point. Dr. Bart Ehrman. We got the
There's all the Malachi Martin exorcism episodes. There's like 7
That's
of
right.
those we've never done.
there's also there's the guy who's running from the CIA. What was that? What's that guy who?
I can't remember his name, but yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Graham Hancock has been on the show a number of times. You know, is
Hmm.
kind of like a pyramid ancient aliens guy. There's a bunch of open shows like, hey, call in if you are a time traveler. Or
Oh yeah,
call in
we
if
got to
you
do
are
some
a
time traveler
vampire.
shows. Those are great. Or if you are an extra dimension, I listened to that one the other night just to put myself. I like to have something to listen to as I sleep. I put on the if you are an extra dimensional being, please call in.
Yeah,
and
please
it,
call
the
in right now.
lines were full.
Yeah, west of the Rockies.
Oh,
right
I'm an
next to
extra
Metro
dimensional.
being.
It's finally my time to shine. I've been an extra dimensional being. Just
finally,
waiting.
finally. Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. So we got a lot of ground we can cover. I don't know, but just for my vote, for what it's worth, I think we're done with this.
For the
story.
alien. So
Yeah.
we saw the pictures. It doesn't seem like the pictures had much more to say other than what was on before. So.
We already had 2 Nephilim episodes, Joe Hill. I don't know. Come on.
Well,
Nephilim too.
So anyway, I will let us know in the chat. We're open to suggestions, but I think the safe to say next show will not be a sequel show. I think let's start with something fresh next week. Next time we're on.
I think that's a good plan.
I think Mel's hole gets so good. I mean, we're gonna savor. We want to savor that over time.
We don't want exactly.
Yeah,
exactly. It's like a fine wine, right? You have to- Our good friend Joe Hill. I don't know if you just showed up now, Joe. I haven't seen you before. It's wonderful to see you here. Yeah.
So, those of who are often will stick it out with us to the end will know that we try to end the show, and we're going to definitely get to these super chats before we get to that. But but there's often a joke.
Often.
And by often, I mean that's how we end the show.
That's how we end the joke. Do you want to do the joke right now? Do you want to do the super
first?
chats?
Let's do the super chats first. So we have Joe Hill saying that he needs a Nephilim episode, and we have done, as Dave alluded, we've done a couple. So you can look at those in the archive. Also, for those of you who don't know, we are officially we're a YouTube podcast. So if you go to the YouTube Music app,
are we? I didn't know that. We're an official.
Yeah. So if you go on, but only on the YouTube Music app. So we are waiting because YouTube has announced they are going to make it compatible with all the other players, like the Spotify's and the Apples and things,
and Stitcher and whatnot,
in the coming months. So we're gonna stick to this platform, but yeah, if you go to YouTube Music,
we'll keep you all informed,
keep you apprised.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's so you can look, but go to that playlist if you're on YouTube, or go to the podcast, and you can find the Nephilim episodes that we've already done. And I'm sure there'll be more because Nephilim just comes up in due course, over and over again. Joe Hill also gifted memberships. Appreciate that so much. So much,
Joe.
So yeah. So for example, Horseflesh, is able to put up some of the dark black box avatars that we see sometimes.
Yep. The underscore.
That's right. The hashtag whacked or whatever it is. And
I
So
do
we got
miss
Timothy
that.
Harmon.
Yes.
I do not want part 3 of Mel's Hole.
Mm,
Oh,
bad
that's
news
too
there,
bad.
Timothy Harmon.
Timothy,
Because
I'm
you're
sorry.
gonna fucking get it.
That's gonna happen because you don't even know.
You don't even know where this goes. Yeah. But anyways, we'll read the rest of the super chat.
The human face
The human
seal
face
with
seal with a compassionate human expression from a Basque hole who gives oracles from other galaxies was too much. We appreciate your opinion, Timothy. We see your point of view.
Mhm.
As we alluded to before, Paul and I mostly do this to entertain ourselves. We do the things we want to do. And I'm afraid that Mel's Hole 3 is definitely 100% going to happen at some point. And,
So,
you know,
sort
we
of
hope you join
discounting.
us. Yeah.
Discounting what I just said. So normally I try to go into these blind. I do know where Mel's Hole goes,
It's so fucking crazy.
and it is
I
it
haven't
is
listened
the
for like 20 years, but I remember when it first happened.
it is the Fast and Furious of Art Bell, because
It gets so banana pants
just
crazy.
like the Fast and Furious, like
Yeah.
it started off, oh, we're just stealing cars and having drag races at night,
and somehow
and
we're
then-
launching cars
right,
into
and now we're working.
space and-
Now we're working for like law enforcement, and we're launching cars off Taj Mahal. Like,
Yeah.
That's where Mel's Hole goes. It's a story about a little hole where we throw things down. No, it goes
Yeah.
Fast and Furious on us. Trust
You
me.
got to see it.
Yeah,
You gotta
it's
see
good.
it.
It's all
Yeah.
good. Vin Diesel may even appear for all I know. All right, so Dave, I think we're out of super chats now.
Okay. Do you want a joke?
Let's end us off with one of your famous jokes.
I got a joke for you. Okay. Do you want a short joke tonight or a long joke?
I see in the chat someone wants a long joke. I don't know. I'm good either way. You choose whichever one you think is most delightful.
I'm trying to remember the jokes I told you before.
So for example, we've had the Norm Macdonald moth joke.
Yeah, the moth joke.
And that's the only long one I think we've done on the show.
Did I tell you the joke about the horse that takes guitar lessons?
Yes.
Okay, I told you that one. We'll do a short joke tonight.
Okay. All right. Short joke.
Yeah. Paul, this is a joke for you specifically.
Okay.
Paul, I'm gonna ask you. How is a young Earth creationist different from a kleptomaniac?
How is a young Earth creationist different than a kleptomaniac?
Mm-hmm.
I say in my best definition voice. Do 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 do. I feel like this is going to be like something you would see on the game show definition. I don't know, Dave. How is a young Earth creationist different than
one takes everything literally, the other takes everything literally.
Oh,
there you go. Take that clip, throw it on your main channel.
I love it.
Yeah. That's an original joke. That's a Dave.
That's a Dave
original joke. That's not from any comedian, right? That's a joke I wrote for my friend Paul. Yeah. Yeah. How is a young Earth creationist different from a
hold on. I feel like we need to. There may have been shenanigans going on, so let's do it. So for the sake of me clipping this out later.
Yeah.
Let's do this one again.
Okay.
Refresh. Reset.
Refresh.
Hold on. Let me make sure we're on the right layout. Okay, we're good. Okay, all right.
Wait. Paul, how is a young Earth creationist different from a kleptomaniac?
I don't know, Dave. How is a young Earth creationist different than a kleptomaniac?
Well, one takes everything literally, the other takes everything literally.
I get it. Perfect.
Nailed it.
This is gonna hit the TikToks and the various Instagrams.
Maybe wear some color while you're doing it.
A
goddamn vampire.
Goddamn vampire. All right. Well,
All right.
we have a super chat from Jay Victor who writes,
Yes.
if Paul knows where Mel Hole goes, he should have told Mel. It saved him a lot of trouble.
Well, it's good. It's a good idea of Jay Victor. Possibly.
Look, I don't even want to hear this. La la.
Mel
la,
also
la,
knows
la.
where it goes because he is making it up as he goes along.
It's possible.
It's possible.
Yes. That he doesn't even. Maybe he does never even owned any land.
Braincrab has notes for you, Paul.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Well, this show, I think if any of the shows that we've done deserve notes from the network.
Yeah. We'll do better next time.
We're going to get hauled into the office Monday morning. That's what's going to happen. All right.
Yeah.
Well, we appreciate all of you hanging out with us so much. This is a great pleasure for both of us to hang with all of you.
Absolutely.
Please support our sponsor, Color.
Absolutely.
Be it the American COLOR or the Canadian subsidiary COLOR.
Or the correct way.
The correct.
Yeah.
Well, it's the fancy way. It's the best way to be COLOUR. All right. Well, on behalf of Color, on behalf of Art Bell, and on behalf of Dave, thank you so much. And where's my outro? It doesn't matter. We're just going to end the stream. Off we go. See you later.
Good night. Good luck. And that's the end of our show.